Hi, I'm Jack and I like video games, and how are you doing this lovely evening? It is currently 7:23 p.m. Central Standard Time here on Sunday, August 30th, 2020. Hi everybody, welcome to the stream. We got a very fun night planned tonight. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. I think you can actually. I should probably... Don't mind the fireworks. Pay no attention to the fireworks. It's actually really loud. Anyway, hi everybody. It's good seeing you. Thank you very much for joining me. If you're watching on YouTube, youtube.com/Jack Pattillo, thank you very much. You are awesome. I appreciate you. And yeah, but there'll be like a timestamp below to click. You want to skip to the start of sort of gameplay, which tonight's going to be a little different. So if you're watching live, twitch.tv/Jack Pattillo, thank you very much. Appreciate you. But things are going to be a little bit different tonight. Tonight, I am checking out the MCParks server, which you know and love. We did some videos in it for Achievement Hunter. Before that, the nanobiologist gave me an awesome, like we talked about walking around Orlando and going to different theme parks and stuff. And he introduced me to this this server, this MCParks server. I immediately fell in love with it because, of course, it's Disney, and anything Disney I'm going to fall in love with. Ended up making friends with the guys who run it, Ryan and Darren. And yeah, and so I've been hanging out on the server for a while now, and tonight, those guys were like, hey, our nanobiologist set up basically a kind of a backstage tour with those guys, and so we're gonna be hanging out. I've got them on a Discord chat right now. They're not live yet, but we'll get to them in a second. And yeah, so we're gonna wander around MCParks, check it out, and see kind of what they've done, what they've got in mind for future stuff. And yeah, it's just really badass for them to do that for us. So this is gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. All right, let me catch you up on some of these alerts here. Weapon Gojira X, 36 months in a row. Happy 3 years, Weapon Gojira. EC Warrior 22, 2 months in a row. Thank you very much. Welcome, EC Warrior, 2 months in a row. Alice is Dead 11, 15 months in a row. 18 total. Thank you very much. Alice is Dead. Rose Fireflies, 2 months in a row. Thank you very much, Rose Fireflies. Captain Hawkeye, 1988, brand new warden. Thank you very much, Captain Hawkeye. It's good having you here. Thank you very much. One Tough Chick, 5 months in a row. Super excited to watch you stream on my 29th birthday. Excited for more of this fun with you and chat. Absolutely. One Tough Chick, happy birthday. Everyone throw happy birthday in the chat to One Tough Chick. Otaku Mage, 17 months in a row. What are we doing, Jack? Almost a second Twitch, baby. Hey, next month, Otaku. So, yeah. We're playing some Minecraft, everybody. We're playing some Minecraft, and we're going to be hanging out with the guys who make MCParks. By the power of the Beer Rebonded, thank you very much, everyone. All right. I think we're good. Yes. Awesome. I don't know. Are any of my mods in chat? There's Christian. I see Christian. Say, Christian, we might have a co-stream with, Nanobiologist. He's having issues with his computer right now, streaming setup. So, maybe not. We'll see. But I've got a link for that, or he sent me a link for that. Or you're smart, you can figure it out. If it works, we'll talk to him. All right. You guys ready? You guys ready? Look at this. Look at this beautiful park. I love it here. This is where I spend a lot of my time. So if you want to join us too, park's open. main.mcparks.us. Make sure you're using 1.12 or what is it? 1.1.12? 1.12.2. That's it. 1.12.2 load of Minecraft. And that's going to be your best bet to play on the MCParks server. If you have Optifine as well, Optifine for 1.12.2 is fantastic. You can see a lot of like skins and stuff. It's really great. Koala Kayla, 5 months. Thank you very much, Koala Kayla. Hello, Koala Kayla. And Metallic Broom, 28, brand new warden. Thank you very much, Metallic Broom. By the power of the Beer Rebonded. All right, should we get into it? Jump in quick. Why not? All right, here we go. Let me get these guys in here. Starting at about, we'll say 4:15. And wait for it. And here we are. I'm in the MCParks server right now. Let me get on the Discord call. Hello, gentlemen. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
There you go.
Hello.
And hopefully my chat can hear you as well. What's up, guys? I am joined tonight by Darren, who is the founder of MCParks, Ryan, who's been working with it for like 7 years, coming up on 8 years, and nanobiologist / Mick, who's the guy who introduced me to MCParks and everything, Disney, you know, all this online Disney stuff. So mad props to these guys. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hello.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. My pleasure. Well, a nanobiologist, you're the one who set this thing up, so I'm just kind of riding your coattails. But it sounds like you're having issues with your computer tonight. So
Yeah, I gave up. It's everything decided to fail tonight. Of
Nice.
course, tonight of all nights.
Of course. That's how it works. Anytime you want to use your stuff, that's when it all falls apart. So I told my chat, I gave them this sort of brief rundown that you guys are going to kind of give us a little look behind the scenes, maybe, and it's kind of an overview of all this stuff. And then, and also I let them know they can join us tonight if they want. So we might have some people following us around a little bit. So we'll have some stream snipers on MCParks.
Oh no, not in this game.
Anyway,
so, yeah.
so I'm in front of the castle right now. I know where you guys want to start.
Oh boy, I mean, what do people want to see, right? Because there's just so much, and everyone has different stuff that they enjoy. I saw some people talking about Galaxy's Edge. Maybe we can give you a sneak preview of what we've got going on there, perhaps.
Well, how about we start from the beginning? How about so how long has this server been up and running?
All right, so we started back in 2013, the first weekend of April in 2013. Darren actually started the server then. The way that I came involved was an interesting story. But first, Darren, why don't you give a little bit of insight into why you started the server and how everything started out?
Yeah, so I don't know, I was playing Minecraft since like 2011 with friends and stuff, and I bounced between like a couple different like creative and free build projects and stuff. But none of them ever like kind of did what I was looking for. And so I kind of stepped back from all of those and started running a survival server. Then one day I was talking with some friends and we just decided to turn it into a theme park. And then Kiosk was born. And here I am 7.5 years later, still doing the same thing.
That's wild. 7.5 years later, you've got one Guinness Book of World Records underneath you. That's pretty rad.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
And
so the world record thing is funny too, because we had applied for that. I think Ryan, you filled out the application for it in 2016.
Something like that, yeah.
And so we were in communication with Guinness for like back and forth a little bit, and then we just never heard back from them. And then during quarantine, somebody had mentioned to us, "Oh yeah, you're in the 2017 Book of World Records," and we were like, "Oh, we are." And then we looked, and I bought a couple copies of the book, and sure enough, there we are. So.
Surprise!
Well, that's pretty rad. So,
yeah.
And what was the record for exactly?
It's the most. It was worded in some silly way because we didn't choose that, but they worded it like the most one-to-one theme parks recreated in Minecraft or something like that.
Wow!
Nice.
Yeah,
a lot of competition for that one. So
right.
So, did you guys immediately decide to go with Disney since, Darren, you're in Florida and you work at Disney World?
Yes. So I used to live in New York. I started working for Disney after I worked on MCParks for a bit.
Okay.
But essentially, Test Track for a long time was like my all-time favorite ride. And so I really just wanted to build Test Track. And the mindset was, oh, well, we can't, just build Test Track. So like, might as well start a Magic Kingdom. And then we really like jumped the gun and like a month into the project, we were like, hey, we're also starting Epcot. And then it just kind of like spiraled out from there.
That's wild. So was Test Track your first thing you built then?
Yeah. Up until recently, it was like the last standing thing that I've built on the server because the current Imagineers working on the project are far, far, far better builders than I ever was. So it was sad when we said goodbye to the Test Track from the original days a couple of months ago, but the one that's currently in development is really good so far, and we'll probably get a chance to ride it today.
Nice. Now that is a question I have for you. So those of you watching live right now, so this is literally a one-to-one recreation. I'm currently in the Magic Kingdom, but you've got Epcot, Animal Kingdom, Disney's Hollywood Studios, Disneyland, Disney California Adventure, Universal Studios, Universal Islands of Adventure, Busch Gardens, and a few hotels too. So
yeah, something that we like really pride ourselves on is not just those isolated properties. When we say that we build all those Walt Disney World properties, we have the entirety of the Walt Disney World Resort under construction, like the entire resort properties. Wow. You can get out of the park, you can get onto the roads, and if you know your way around the road system, you can go literally anywhere on the resort property.
That is bonkers. Yeah, that is wild because I lived and worked out in Disney back in like 2002 and 2005. And so it was like seeing the actual roads. I'm like, no, this can't be. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, these are the back roads. Like this is where I used to go to get to the parks and like go to the employee entrances and stuff. And so I mean, how much do you just rely? Like, when you're making this stuff, do you have like a Google Maps overlay of what it should look like, and then you just kind of build to that, or is it just kind of by eye, and then like what goes into this kind of stuff?
Yeah, it's everything and anything that we can get our hands on and use to our advantage. So in some cases, that's using Google Maps, using satellite data. In some cases, that's using like for going into interior spaces, that's using very detailed pictures and videos that we can find, and occasionally overlaying that with fan and officially leaked blueprints that are out there on the internet. Sometimes it's going through. Is Walt Disney World being a little...
Disney just dropped for me.
Yeah, there you go.
Same.
Let's see. All right. Is it actually down is the next question.
Yep, back in.
Let's see. Yeah, hold on. Every night around the most crowded time, Walt Disney World does a little crash.
Nice. I will say, too, those of you watching me live right now, there's another really, really, really cool thing that I'm not showing off right now on the stream, that these guys... your mad scientists somehow figured out a way to run an audio server that you can run in conjunction. Whoa, here's everybody. I found everyone. There's an audio server that runs in conjunction based on where you are in the park, and the music will sync up to where you're looking at, what rides you're on, and it's amazing. Unfortunately, a lot of it is copywritten stuff, so I'm not going to be able to play that tonight because I upload all my streams to YouTube, and I waited too long to figure out a solution where I could play music on the stream but not in recording. I'll figure that out in the future because that's a really good idea, and I thank these guys for helping me think of it. So, anyway.
And that's like the most magical part about the server, too, is not only are the rides all functional, nearly one-for-one rides, it's the music and the sound effects are there, too. And I just want to know how you guys got those recordings. Do you walk around the park with like your phone out or a microphone sitting next to a speaker, or you have it with you on the ride, or do you find these files online somewhere and just download them and upload them to the server that you have?
Yeah, so first to speak to the actual audio system itself and how all that syncing stuff happens. Mm-hmm. So that's my creation, and I do most of the software work around here. So a lot of the custom software that makes all of our special all of our special attractions and shows work the way they work. That's investments that I've made into the server. And the audio system in particular is something that's one of my favorite things because, it literally adds that dimension of realism and makes you, hear all the same audio loops that you would hear if you're in the park. And, it's really not like a complicated thing as far as actually, writing it up is concerned. But like it's something that just adds a lot of realism to it. And we're really proud of that. But as far as where we get the actual, sorry, what were you saying?
I was gonna say, but the cool thing about that is like the fact that you can so you have fireworks shows, like you run fireworks 3 times a day, and it's the actual music and sound effects from the show. So if you're watching it just in Minecraft, which if we do see fireworks tonight, it'll just be the in-game Minecraft audio, but having the music playing synced up to the actual fireworks show is incredible. It's so cool, and I think someone just threw me on a carousel. Damn it!
and that's also the only way that you can watch the Happily Ever After or right now, and because it's not showing in real life, obviously. So if you want to watch Happily Ever After, this is your only option.
And those of you who are curious as to how I can fly around, so these guys, they're doing all this. I want to point out all the stuff they're doing is totally free. Anyone can go right now. If you own a copy of Minecraft on the PC, you can join their server. Not the Windows 10 edition, but the Minecraft Java edition, which I don't even know what they call it now. But anyway, that version, you can jump into their server and play. And so these guys rely on donations. So if you go to donate.mcparks.us, you can make donations to the server because they got to keep the computers running and keep everything going. But with that, there are different tiers of stuff you get for donations. So you can donate like $1 or like $20, and there are different levels based on that. So I donated the highest level because I'm a nerd and I love this stuff. And so I'm currently in Club 33, which is the highest level. And with that, I get flying access and a bunch of other cool things. So if you want to check out the park, I highly recommend you make a donation to these guys. They put a lot of hard work into it. And so they can't sell stuff with Disney on it because you would lose a lot of money because Disney would sue your ass to oblivion. So, So anyway, check it out. There you go. They didn't ask me to plug that, but I'm going to because they put a lot of work in here, and so
and we appreciate that, and we appreciate your contribution, of course, Jack.
My pleasure.
Yeah, so that's the audio system's really cool, and we're really proud of that whole thing.
And as far as acquiring audio goes, some of it is stuff that we take like an induction recorder and like just pull it up to a speaker. But other times, if you look hard enough on the internet, you can find pretty much anything. And that's where a lot of those files come from.
Those Disney dark webs.
Yeah, there's a really there's a really big Disney audio collecting community out there on the internet. You just gotta know where to find it, I guess.
Now, I gotta say, some of my favorite stuff in the parks though is like, there are ways you can kind of jump on trees and parkour your way through the parks because nothing's really off limits. Like, you can't really break anything in this server, as far as I know.
Exactly.
And just getting backstage, which backstage is behind the scenes stuff, like seeing like work trucks and things. I love that you guys built that out. Like, you have storage areas like back behind, Main Street USA, where it's like, oh, this is where all the storage is for like the different shops and things. And there's like just trucks, and I know back behind like Splash Mountain is like the parade floats, like the storage for parade floats. It's like that's so cool. That's like that stuff that unless you know what it is, where it is, like you would never see that in real life. Like, I mean, Disney does a great job of really convincing you that you're in a whole different world while you're there. And so kind of peeling back a little bit behind the scenes and getting to see, so like, like here's a parade route right here that's, you don't get to in normal everyday stuff. And this will take you back to these giant warehouses where they store equipment and things. And you guys took your time to do like parking spaces. Like, I just love that. And here's a big dragon, which I guess is part of one of the parades.
Yeah, that's part of the Festival of Fantasy parade.
There you go.
Yeah, it's actually Maleficent.
Now, my one question I've had that I've been since I've been on the server now for a couple months, I guess, and it's really just I'm digging it. But you guys have added quite a bit. Like, even since I've been here, you've relaunched the Tower of Terror, which is fantastic. And I am curious though, like when you're building new stuff, like you said, you're building a new version of like Test Track. How do you build that live on the server, or do you build it on another server and just copy and paste it? Like, are there different instances of the world that exist that your Imagineers get to? How does that work exactly?
So at the moment, all of our development happens on the server that you're on right now.
Wow.
And one of the cool consequences of that is one of our donation perks that we offer is early access. And so there's different early access packages for different lands that we're working on, different things that we're working on. And one of the cool things about that is you get to literally like watch our Imagineers work. Like, you get to just walk up into, Adventureland and Disneyland and watch some of our pixel artists put down, all of the maps and all the images for the stuff that they're working on. You get to watch our Imagineers actually work on building some of the areas that they're working on, which is really, really fun. Now, of course, this causes some scalability concerns, and we're aware of that, especially since quarantine has started, and especially since everyone has a lot of interest has been shown towards MCParks since April, thanks to TikTok and other internet venues. There's been lots of interest given to our server, which has been awesome. But we're starting to learn sort of what our scale limits are. And we're working on provisioning more instances of some of the servers. Right now, our software doesn't like super support that, but we're working on that to make sure that everyone can have a good experience.
Nice. Yeah, the server's currently right now freaking out a little bit. Also, my looks like my Optifine didn't load properly, so I can't see my shirt.
Oh well, yeah, Optifine is nuts.
Yeah, everything's getting jumpy. Everything's getting jumpy.
I'm having a great time on the trolley right now. Which I didn't want to choose to ride, but ended up here and having a great time still.
If you guys want, we could ride Mountain Walt Disney World just to avoid some of the choppiness right now.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. So as we mentioned, Walt Disney World's not the only resort property that we have. We also have the Disneyland Resort and Universal Orlando Resort and Busch Gardens Tampa. So Jack has gone over to Islands of Adventure, which, as luck would have it, is one of my favorite parks that we have on the server. It's one of our newer ones.
Sorry, Chad, if you're watching right now, so let me know if you I'm just kind of flying around just because I like seeing this perspective of stuff. But if you want me on the ground, I can totally just go, get out of airborne. It's interesting to me to see kind of all of this stuff going on. Also, you guys too, like I've noticed, I love The Adventure Begins. Well, The Adventure B, I guess on my screen, but I do love, like right now they're building a new Jurassic Park roller coaster, and like, it's currently under construction. Oh, there's Darren. What's up, man? Hey guys.
Hey.
Hello, bonjour. It's currently under construction, but even with that, you've built out like the under construction version of the attraction. So I mean, like, how many people do you have working on new rides and things like that?
So our cast members, we follow all of the main, theme park social media accounts on Twitter and everything like that. And we just also happen to just be huge theme park fans. So when we see new updates from the parks that we love and we're following, we feel inclined to go and make those little changes in games. So whether that's the ever-changing walls around Epcot as the construction progress changes over there, or whether that's the still officially unannounced Jurassic Park roller coaster.
Pay no attention to what's going on behind this wall.
Nope, of course not. Now, one thing, how closely have you been following the Jurassic Park news? Do you know about the ospreys?
No, I know there were some birds at the very top, but I know I follow this. There's a YouTuber named Midway Mayhem, and he goes about 3 times a week, and it's just like a 20-minute video where he just points his camera at the new coaster, and I'm just like fascinated by it, like watching all the different rocks and stuff getting built. Oh, are these the ospreys?
Yeah. So
oh, nice.
Here, yeah. So it's really funny because ospreys are obviously raptors. One of the kind of like rumored name for this coaster is the Velocicoaster. Velociraptors are raptors, and so it's like cosmic irony that ospreys, a member of the raptor family, have made their home on the top of the raptor themed roller coaster.
That's so funny.
But yeah, so these birds just showed up one day and kind of took residence in the real coaster, and they removed the nest, but they started building another nest. They covered this whole thing with like a blue tarp. They have torn through the blue tarp and have started building another nest. So they just won't go away.
That's so funny.
So this is our little.
They just want to be with their family.
Yeah, so this is our little tribute to the Jurassic Park ospreys.
And this is something that you wouldn't be able to see unless you had the fly enabled, which are on your upper level tiers of donations. So there you go.
This is true.
There you go. You're getting a sneak behind the scenes. Welcome back, Ms. Spray. He's building another one. So yeah, you guys are a little behind on your building over here.
A little bit, yeah. We haven't started the rock work and everything like that. The people think this is the Odonomus Rex pen from Jurassic World. This like structure right here that's coming up. So we haven't quite gotten super up to date with that. But I'm sure, especially now that we brought it up on stream, that somebody will take it upon themselves to to make it a little more current.
Man.
It's always tough when we build things that are actively, a construction site, because we don't have all the normal resources that we have. And then our biggest resource being Google Earth, we don't have usually updated imagery to properly map things out. So we rely a lot on like helicopter tours and stuff, and like somebody like taking a picture and then overlaying that onto Google Earth. And so we're always hesitant to get too far invested into an under construction project, because we always run the chance of having to redo it at some point in the future, just because something didn't line up somewhere.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, we actually opened our original Seven Dwarfs Mine Train day and date the same day that it opened in real life.
Oh wow!
What is it, May 20-something, 2014?
Yeah.
So we opened that on the same day that Disney opened theirs in real life. And it was cool, and it was a nice little social media bragging point when it happened. But a couple of months later, we realized, well, we probably could have done a better job on this if we waited, not just using what was available during the media previews and actually waited for Google Earth to update. And we ended up redoing that because we just didn't do a great job at it. So since then, we've kind of been a little bit better with until we do serious work about things, we wait until there's a little bit better documentation.
Nice. Now, where's the Raptor pin? I know they built out a new structure for Blue. I don't see it.
Where is that? I think that's.
It should be over here-ish, right?
It's Google Earth just isn't updated on it, and that's
okay.
A lot harder to lay out than a coaster.
Yeah.
So, especially for Disney, do you ever use? I mean, maybe you're not able to comment on this, but do you ever use like your cast member privileges and the cast member previews to do some final touches for MCParks, especially for the new areas, the new rides that come out? Like maybe
I just because of work and stuff, I try to keep a pretty clear line of distinction between the two. So I was on the test and adjust team for both rides at Galaxy's Edge for around a year and a half, and it was very tough to also at the same time have Imagineers on here working on Galaxy's Edge, and me just having to be like, I can't say or comment or anything on this, and especially in rides where they're like, okay, there's this massive box. What's going on inside that box? And I'm like, December 5th, you'll find out. And so, especially with ongoing constructions like that, I'm always very punctual in making sure that the things that we're adding in that would be like information I may know, I have clear and like very concise documentation of like, here's where this exists on the internet that somebody who isn't me would have been able to pull it from.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I work in I work with a lot of the NDA culture right now because like we have a lot of friends in the game industry, who'll give us information about games coming up and stuff, and you got to be very careful about like, okay, is this public? Like, would I know about this anywhere else? It's like, okay, yeah, I do. Okay, this is fine. Now I can say this, like, or just in default to be like, nah, maybe I shouldn't say that. Now, what rides? Like, I noticed like a lot of rides you currently don't have up and running. How do you go about picking what is going to become an actual attraction? Like, I see like the Jurassic Park River Adventure you currently don't have as an actual rideable ride. So, like, do you guys like just decide like, oh, I really want to make this? Like, does someone just call dibs on it, or what? Or is it just kind of like, people demanding things, or what goes on?
It's a little bit of like a give and take between what we feel the guest demand is for different attractions and what our cast members want to make, because at the end of the day, obviously everyone who works here is a volunteer. This is not their full-time thing, and so it's very tough for people to, and it's something that we've learned over time doing this since 2013, is it's very difficult to get people to work on something that they're not intrinsically motivated to work on. So for the most part, we kind of pick a few larger projects that our cast members are interested in working on and direct most of our attention towards there. Now, lately, we've kind of been going more towards opening things on a land-by-land basis. So in the instance of Islands of Adventure, the first lands that we opened up were Marvel Superhero Island and Seuss Landing, and we opened just those lands and all the rides in those lands. And then we went over to Toon Lagoon, and we did Toon Lagoon. It was Marvel Superhero Island first, and we did Toon Lagoon and Seuss Landing on the same day, and we opened all of those attractions. And the plan was to wait for Jurassic Park and Hogsmeade and open those up similarly when all their attractions were done. We ended up opening those areas, the exteriors, just for exploration when COVID happened, like when the parks closed in real life, just to give people more things to go and check out. Cool. But similarly, we're working on Jurassic Park River Adventure. That's something that's in active development right now. We're working on Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. Yes, that is the entire name of the attraction. I saw a joke on Twitter the other day. It's like, remember when they had the gall just to call attractions Haunted Mansion? And that was it. And now, like, if they called it that now, it'd be called like, Master Gracie's Haunted House Adventure or something.
Yeah. You just go, but then you get rides like the Incredible Hulk. Like, all right, I just know, but it's actually is the Incredible Hulk coaster? Yeah, it is the Incredible Hulk
coaster. Yeah,
or really, just call it Hulk. I love the model work you guys have done in this. Like, how deep? I mean, how difficult is it to actually build out things? Like, you built out all of the different ride vehicles for a lot of attractions. I mean, like Hulk's got it, and I know like the Scoop is in Spider-Man, and even like Seven Dwarfs Minecart. Like, how difficult is it to add those kinds of skins to the attractions?
So the models are a pretty heavy pain point for us. So we, for years, didn't have any sort of 3D models or any resource back on the server, just because we wanted everyone to be able to log in, and the experience that everyone logs into presents the same experience to everyone else. And we eventually, back in 2018, we decided that we were going to introduce ride vehicles. And a distinction that we've always made was we didn't want to update block textures and stuff. We always wanted the game to feel like Minecraft. And so it's a very difficult process for us to get those 3D models because we make them fit the Minecraft style. So they're very like high voxel count. There's a lot of geometry on them. Whereas if we had done like smooth models that look like, they would fit in like a Unity game or something, it would be much easier to make those, but we don't think that it would fit kind of stylistically with the server. So we take a lot of anti-shortcuts just for consistency and for just to make it look like it feels genuine to the game, because we don't want it to feel like you're playing this other game that happens to take place in Minecraft. Like, you're still playing Minecraft, you're just visiting like this cool part of Minecraft.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, it wouldn't feel like Minecraft if you didn't have like the pixelated version and stuff. Those of you watching my screen right now, this vehicle is actually upside down. So Hulk is currently holding this thing upside down. So here's the seats, and there's the actual ride, the wheels and whatnot that attach to the pipes. I do appreciate that you guys have left the squares, like the square blocks are the track, and that's pretty much the case in all of your various attractions. It's just like very blocky, just as angled as you can get. I dig that.
Yeah, of course, that poses an issue when we're talking about some areas, because obviously in Minecraft, the smallest resolution a block can have is 1 cubic meter. You can't really get smaller than that. You kind of can if you do slabs and fences in certain ways, but for the most part, when you're making a structure, like, you can only get as detailed as a cubic meter. And that poses problems when you're talking about things like, for example, Fantasyland and Disneyland, which famously, there's just, Peter Pan and Mr. Toad's Wild Ride and Alice in Wonderland are just separated by 6-inch plywood walls.
Yeah.
And so it's real tough to get all those to fit in a way that, we have, it's a blend of, being one-to-one, but also just will fit in this building, and we have room to make the sets detailed enough, given that we only have these cubic meter blocks to work with.
So, touching on that as well, clearly you guys take so many liberties with the blocks that were already in the base Minecraft version and making it into your own thing. Like, I have a map, I have a magic band in my backpack. You have so many of these little voxels everywhere. The blocks are used for the tracks. How long did it take for you guys to realize that you could actually manipulate all these blocks to be whatever you really want them to be, and also make everything nearly your own and almost create a new version of Minecraft that works just for you guys? Whether it be programming.
I mean, that's something that we're always innovating on. We're always evolving over time. Like, I mentioned that we have this consistent style now of using the vox, or Darren mentioned that. But that's not something that just came out overnight. Like, Darren woke up one day, it's like, this is what we're going to do. This is going to be our style. Like, that's something that we're always iterating on. And as we discover new techniques, we change them. Like, for example, I forget what project it was that we wanted, one of our talented artists used Minecraft maps to make little pixel art kind of designs on some of the maps. And we liked it so much that we started a new department of our staff team just devoted to making signs on the image maps in Minecraft in a pixel art kind of style. And so now going forwards, all of our new attractions are going to have these pixel arty kinds of signs. Actually, I think if we go to the outside of Tower of Terror, there's a good example of this. If you do Warp TOT, there's actually a great example of this right here. So, we have the standby entrance and the clock and the Hollywood Tower Hotel established in 1917. All of these little bits were designed by our pixel artists, including the little show scene over here with it says the Hollywood Tower Hotel. And if you go over this thing, it animates to say the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. So
I love that.
This is a new endeavor that we've started that we happen to just have so many multi-talented cast members on our team that allow us to branch out into doing these new style kinds of things. And if you enjoy this little kind of effects and stuff like that, you're really going to love Indiana Jones Adventure in Disneyland once we open that.
Nice.
It's just going to be filled with things like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cool.
But yeah, that's just an example of something that we've iterated on over the time. There's just so many things like that, and kind of learning that we can, for example, this is the Fast Pass kiosk that the Fast Pass cast member will go and check to make sure that your Fast Pass works.
Yeah, you gotta scan your band,
and and so this is this is made out of armor stands that have like, you know, these little items on their heads and stuff. And that's another thing that we've been doing a lot more recently is using armor stands to create things like this. If you do warp TSL, you'll see like how we started with this. Now this is very like, this is how it started. So this is the first armor stand statue that we made. It looks a little Nightmare Fuel-ish. This is Woody at the entrance to Toy Story Land. But this was like the beginning of us realizing, hey, we can use armor stands. We don't have to put models in the resource pack for every little thing. We can use armor stands to kind of put all of these things together to create actual structures here. So I'm trying to think of something that is a good example of a newer style armor stand creation that we can show them.
So is this one armor stand, or is this like a bunch stacked together?
No, this is a bunch of armor stands. So you'll notice, for example, the arms here. These are leather pants that are dyed, and the armor stand is just posed such that one pant leg is going out this way and the other one's going out the other way. And then we kind of it snakes the pants all along to create this line. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a chest piece for his little collar there.
Yep.
That's fascinating.
Here, I could show you. So we're working on kind of like this like next generation version of that. So I'll teleport you guys real quick.
Oh god, I'm being taken.
So this is a slightly more up-to-date version of the same idea. And it kind of shows how far our modeling with armor stands has come. There's also other things. I'm wondering, Darren, if we should.
Where did it get taken with you, Darren? There we go. Nope.
I do love his smile as just the bow. That's great.
Yeah, that was a really good idea from More Timer.
So this whole Woody here is pretty much made out of just default Minecraft materials, just manipulated in ways to make it look like this.
Exactly. So you can use any resource pack or use no resource pack at all, and you'll still see Woody like in all of his glory like that. Yeah.
That's wild.
That's so cool.
See, okay, so Darren, we could take him into Club 33. He is a Club 33 member after all.
I am a club, but I got a lot of people watching right now. I don't want to spoil anything.
True. Well, I want to show you kind of how far we've come with doing these kinds of armor stand things. And
One of the shops
so the
World Showcase.
Oh yeah, that'll be easier because also Club 33 is a little
is it bougie?
A little low on the frame rate. It's a little low on the frame rate right now.
Okay.
Warp Japan.
Yeah.
Warp Japan.
Okay, so let's go to Japan. Yep. And so if we go into the Mitsukashi store here, you can see we put all of these little things on the shelves and stuff. Yeah, so those are all armor stands. I think even better is in Germany, Darren. But actually, first show them let's show them the here you go. Look at the oysters over here.
Yeah, the oysters. You gotta clap.
Yep.
If you get a good one. Look at the little oysters.
You guys have modeled the store so perfectly. Like, I was there in February, and I just remember exactly where everything was. Like the anime section, the toys section, the pure
this one over
Japanese
here,
stuff.
here.
I want to ring the gong. Let me ring the gong.
Come through over here.
Cool.
And look at this little section over here.
Wow, I love little half glass pieces. That's so cool.
Yeah, and again, these are all armor stands.
That's wild.
Yeah, if you come to Warp Germany, there's also good examples over there.
So Germany was the first real instance of deciding to do this with the shops. We were building a new version of World Showcase, and one of the Imagineers had the idea of, oh, hey, we should like try and actually like populate the shops because, you know, even if we don't have these actual items, a big draw to World Showcase is seeing, you know, the different merchandise items that these cultures have and stuff. And so being able to present those to our guests that, you know, may not necessarily understand that, oh, hey, this is a store and like this is where they have all of these, you know, cool different items and stuff, has been really helpful. And it's been really cool to kind of introduce people to these different cultures that way.
I'm trying to find the cuckoo clocks. Where are they?
Oh, look at that. The German,
the
German mouse ears. That's awesome.
Yeah, and then look over here. Look at these little cuckoo clocks. I love these.
Oh, yeah, look at that. A little bird's poking out.
Yeah, and again, armor stands. Like, this does not require the resource pack to see this. You can disable your resource pack and you'll still see it.
That is awesome.
And Yeah, and these are a couple of our Imagineers who have just gotten really, really specialized in doing these kinds of things. And over time, we kind of realized, so the way that we segment up our staff are into a few different departments. Originally, back when we started in 2013, they were guest relations and Imagineers. And Imagineers did the building, and guest relations made sure that everyone on the server was having a good time. And from making sure everyone on the server was having a good time, the guest relations started to put on shows. And this started as just little, like, you know, going to the castle and doing little fun things. But then they're like, well, what if we had fireworks shows? And they started kind of learning how to, and these are our guest relations cast members who were hired for their ability to, you know, talk and chat and put on events. They were starting to do sort of like technical work, like, you know, make fireworks
show programming and stuff.
Yeah, God. And also like start to they would transcribe entire stage shows into command blocks as messages, and then they would go down the line and click the buttons for each of the commands to say the text in chat.
Wow.
Whenever it was their time and they would act on stage. But we started realizing that the skill set needed to do these kinds of shows was different than the skill set that was needed to be a good, you know, host to the guests on the server. And that's when we started our technician department. And so the technicians were born, and that's when we kind of started doing more in-depth effects on our attractions and in our shows and stuff like that. Is when we started having a dedicated department to do those sorts of things. And we then realized that as we were growing and we wanted to have more of like a social media presence, and we wanted to do more things on our YouTube channel, and we wanted to do more things with our resource pack, that we would need to grow our team even more. We sometimes had some of our Imagineers who knew how to do a little bit of 3D modeling or knew how to do a little bit of graphic design. And so those were the people that we had to, you know, help us out with the Twitter account, help us out with the YouTube channel, make some models for the resource pack. But we wanted to kind of have a way for people for whom that's their thing, you know, like 3D modeling is their thing, or graphic design is their passion, or, you know, whatever. We wanted to have a way for them to contribute to the server as well, and not feel like they had to also be talented at one-to-one building to work here. And so that's where the Parks Experience department went. And Parks Experience is where we kind of throw all of our other disciplines that don't fall into the dichotomy of Imagineers, Technicians, GRs. And so that's where our branding team is, who make wonderful videos and are actually putting on a full-fat Nintendo Direct style event next week called the MCParks Expo. So mcparks.us/expo if you're interested in in hearing more about all of the things that we have going on. Sorry, I got to plug that. So, you know, our branding team puts together awesome videos like that. Our resource pack team makes all of the wonderful models in the resource pack and adheres to that style. And the newest team, the pixel art team, is responsible for those maps I showed you outside of Tower of Terror and elsewhere on the server. And we're kind of seeing a growing subcategory of Imagineer, too. That kind of is talented in making those armor stand creations, like what we showed you in Germany. And actually, Jack, you're going into the American Adventure right now. You'll see on the ground in the rotunda, there's the little benches. Those aren't resource pack models; those are armor stands. Out in the there's the seal over here on the ground in the vestibule. That this is all armor stands as well.
Wow.
Yeah, and the Native American exhibit out to the right-hand side of the building. There's, again, armor stands everywhere. Yeah, it's just sort of like shows how far we can take things with just using Minecraft. Now, the problem with some of that is that we start to put too many resources on the server by having all of these armor stands sitting around, and it lowers people's frame rates. And so even for that, we have special software that fixes things like that. So we actually made our own entity manager so we could process all of these entities we're adding to the server, like armor stands, separately from all of the rest of the server code that needs to get run, that improves performance on the server as well.
That's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Quick plug, though. Where can people go to if they want to try and apply and be a part of this magical experience?
Absolutely. mcparks.us/apply. Or you can run /apply command on the server. You can go and apply for any one of those roles that that I mentioned, and we really want to incentivize anyone who thinks that they can help in any way with any of those goals to apply, because it's through cultivating this community of awesome theme park fans that we're able to create these amazing experiences for our guests. We really could not do it without the Darren. How many people are working for us now?
It's 130, maybe 140.
Yeah,
jeez,
it ballooned a lot in my mind. I always like, we've got 40-50 cast members, but no, we have like 140 people now,
and those are all volunteers.
They're all volunteers. They're all here on their own time because they love theme parks, because they love creating these sorts of experiences, and because they're just really talented individuals. They help us out.
I gotta say, the Regal Eagle, I am sad I haven't gone here yet. It's open since I have been there. I do like the inside. Is the art in here? This like Muppets imagery. Is that actually in the?
Yeah,
is it actually there?
Yeah. It's all the same thing. So the Eagle in Regal Eagle is Sam Eagle.
Is it really?
He's hosting a barbecue.
Yeah,
he's hosting a barbecue competition in here, and various Muppets have contributed different sauces to the barbecue competition. And in fact, those are the sauces that you can get on your food at Regal Eagle.
Oh wow, that's funny.
It's delicious.
Oh my god!
And
I gotta check it out.
I recommend Regal Eagle. I mean, obviously, we live in Texas, where there is a huge barbecue scene, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give it a shot, though. I'm not going to say no. Someone gave me a churro.
It's good. And hey, I think it's about time that the America Pavilion has, a smattering of American barbecue. From there's Carolina style barbecue, there's Texas style barbecue. There's it's great, and it's good to see different things like that there.
That is
Because
awesome.
the food and wine booth for America was always like, where there was some barbecue things, but it's great to finally have it be like a year-round restaurant.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, I'm going to talk to my chat, so I'm going to mute you guys 2 seconds, just catch up on some of these messages here, right? I'll be right back.
Sounds good. We'll be here.
Sounds good.
Right back. All right. Thank you very much, everyone tuning in right now. I do appreciate it. You guys are freaking awesome. Let me catch up on some of these messages here. I got quite a few. All right. Let's see here. Captain Hong, I want to talk about... Major Hayes. Okay, here we go. Major Hayes, thank you for those bits. Looks awesome. Appreciate you. Whiskey Tomo, 18 months. Thank you very much, Whiskey Tomo. Unnatural D, 23 months. Hey, cool. I can catch a stream live. Thank you very much, Unnatural. Ultimate Weapon X, 16 months. Thank you, Heart. Thank you, Ultimate Weapon X, 13. Uberman, 21 months in a row. Thank you very much, Uberman. Glad to have you around. Nuggets, 88, 89, 5 months in a row. Hey, Jack, loving your streams. I got sent home from work as our office got broken into. So I'm home today. I'm glad I get to watch your stream. Keep up the amazing work. I'm glad you're safe, Nuggets. Jeez, that's terrible. Good. I'm glad you're here, though. Hostile Exile, 6 months in a row. Appreciate you. K Fabian, 22. Jack, 2 questions. Since you're a big theme park guy, do you watch any of the Tim Tracker's videos? Yes. And 2, have you been to Galaxy's Edge? Yes. I have not ridden Rise of the Resistance, but I have been to Batu, and I've ridden Smuggler's Run, but I haven't done Rise yet. So, alas. Rainbow Star 93, 17 months in a row. Thank you, Rainbow Star. Mayan Life, 4 months in a row. Happy to be here. Keep up the great work, Jack. Thank you, Mayan Life. Will B. Meister, 2 months in a row. Thank you, Will B. Meister. Blackbird 91, 19 months. Love you, Jack. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you. Love you too, Blackbird. Cross 737, 8 months in a row. And Barry 710, 4 months. How's it going? It's going well, Barry. Thank you very much. By the power of the beer, we're bonded. Thank you very much, guys. Y'all are all freaking awesome. Hopefully you guys are digging this. Hopefully you guys are liking this. This is a lot of fun, getting a chance to kind of peek behind the scenes. I'm a huge fan of this theme park stuff, and I'm really fascinated by these guys and what they've done here. So hopefully you're digging it. I like this stuff, and yeah, and play Crazy Craft. So many people told me about Crazy Craft. We'll give it a shot. Don't worry. All right, let's get back to it. You guys, is that okay? Go Warp Pizza. Oh wait, okay. Go to Warp Pizza Rizzo and ask a day in the park with Barney. All right, Gay Elephant, you got it.
Now, yeah.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Oh, hi.
Hello. Okay, sorry. I had to catch up with my chat. They were hanging out, and a lot of good messages for me. Anyway, one person did ask 2 questions. They want me to go to Pizzeria Rizzo or Pizzeriazo.
Yes.
And also
Pizza
Rizzo, there you go. And someone also asked, or the same person asked for a day in the park with Barney at Universal Studios Orlando. So if you guys can get on with that, that'd be fantastic. Also, if you want to add if you could do the Animal Actors show, that'd be great. That's one of my favorite attractions ever. We'll warp to UO real quick. Oh wait,
I was gonna say come over to Warp Rat Pizza.
Rat Pizza?
That's
One word.
where Rizzo is.
Here, all right, we'll do that real quick. Warp Rat Pizza.
Oh, hold on. Walt Disney World didn't like that.
Oh, didn't like that at all. Well, here, I'm going to go. I want to point out, so one of my favorite things ever, I love Universal. I'm a big Universal guy. We'll do a little bit more, but over here, Universal Studios only has like 4 things that are still from the original park opening. One is the, what it used to be called the Gory, Grotesque, Gruesome makeup show. Now I think it's just called the Horror Makeup Show, and I love that show every time. It's right here. Every time I go to Universal, I make it a point to go to that show because it's a live show with live actors on stage, and they have fun with it. And it's super hokey and kind of dumb, but it's still like watching these guys interact. It's two hosts, and watching them interact with the crowd is fantastic. But I highly recommend it. It's right across from Mel's Drive-In. If you're ever at Universal Studios, go check it out. Just down from the Jason Bourne stunt show. So go check that out while you're there before you hit Central Park. And then, so that's been there since day one, I think, or very early on. The Animal Actors stage, which is right here, which you guys don't have, which breaks my heart. You don't actually have an animal show. That's been there since day one. This stage right here is also hosted America's Funniest People, which was Dave Coulier hosted. It was a spinoff of America's Funniest Home Videos. It was actually shot in this stage for a little bit. And yeah, but it's been a Animal Actors stage show for a long time. Then right across from that, over here is the E.T. ride, which E.T., one of the few things, supposedly Steven Spielberg has a stranglehold on Universal Studios and won't allow them to get rid of this attraction. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. But people claim that they won't, as long as Steven Spielberg is alive, the E.T. ride in Universal Orlando will be alive. The one in Hollywood's gone. It's been replaced by the Mummy version over there, but the ET one in Orlando is still there, and that might be it. Maybe the monster restaurant at the front of the park, is that was original?
I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah. See, I guess the thing that you run into with Universal and what they choose to make attractions of is they're very like zeitgeisty kinds of movie things, and like they're not really like, you know, they're things that become dated as, you know, popular culture moves on from a particular,
like the Jimmy Fallon ride.
Like, is the Jimmy Fallon ride good? I mean, maybe the Tonight Show will still be, you know, relevant in 15 years, but will Jimmy Fallon be relevant in 15 years? Who knows, right?
I was so sad to see the Twister attraction go. I love that one. Right, Twister Ride It Out was one of my favorite shows ever. I love the Backdraft show in Hollywood. That's actually gone now. I think Transformers took it over, but that was a cool show. But yeah, this is the Jimmy Fallon ride through New York, and it is not good. It's another motion sim. I just don't like motion sims, at least not interesting ones. Like Transformers and Spider-Man are incredible, but like the Despicable Me one is fun, but it's made for kids. Same with the Hulk, or not the Hulk, the Shrek attraction, which good Shrek out here. I like Shrek and Donkey out front. Those are good.
I mean, like, you know what the difference is between some of those? Like, Jimmy Fallon and that ride, like, it hinges on you as a rider liking Jimmy Fallon. It hinges on Jimmy Fallon's personality. Like, but like, compare that to Spider-Man or Transformers, where there's also this innovative ride system that looks really good, or dare I say it, Flight of Passage, another motion sim, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't need to like Avatar to like Flight of Passage. Like I've taken people who have never seen Avatar before on Flight of Passage, and they come off of that thinking like, "Holy crap, that was an experience."
Yeah,
it's the same thing. It's the same thing like Twister, right? Like Twister, you didn't have to like Twister to like Twister the show.
Twister Ride It Out.
Like it was really good. The same thing with like, you know, the Waterworld stunt show in Hollywood. You don't need to like Waterworld to appreciate that stunt show. Like when you make things after these like zeitgeisty IPs, they live and die based on what you think about those zeitgeisty IPs.
But then you get something like the Fast and Furious, which is just like, to this day, it pisses me off so much. How like they tore down Earthquake, Disaster, I guess is what it was called when it was finally gone, and just put up like a section of the Hollywood backstage tour, the backlot tour. I made it a whole ride, and it's just like one 10-minute portion of an hour-long ride in Hollywood, and they tried to make an entire attraction out of it in Orlando, and it's just garbage. Like with all the stuff you could have done with Fast and Furious as a brand, and they did that. It's like, oh god,
The
like
same King Kong ride too is.
Oh yeah, they're the same ride system.
yeah,
It's the same ride system. It's just like the biggest thing for my complaint for Hollywood Studio, not Hollywood, but Universal Studios is it's the introduction. You just feel like you are just there and sitting there with weird 3D glasses and kind of being shaken around. While at Disney, they make you feel like you are in that experience no matter what. You are in those ride vehicles. You are experiencing what they're experiencing. And Universal Studios just relies too much on those ride simulators nowadays with Jimmy Fallon. Even the new Harry Potter ride at Gringotts is partially like that.
yeah.
I wish it was more like the Hogwarts Adventure one instead of more like kind of like Spider-Man and Transformers.
Or even
Forbidden Journey makes me nauseous.
Yeah, Forbidden Journey, for something about that, like the 3D sim portions of that, I have to close my eyes. Like, I don't know what it is, but I get so nauseous on that attraction.
Have you been on it since they got rid of the 3D glasses?
No. Well, they never had 3D glasses in Florida.
Oh, you're right. No, they never had 3D glasses in California. They had them in Florida.
Did they?
No, other way around.
Oh, other way around. Sorry.
Okay. I was gonna say,
I think they got rid of them in California though.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they had them for like a hot second because they opened with them, and then everyone was like, "Oh, that's weird. Florida doesn't have them." And then they were like, "Oh, maybe we're bringing them to Florida," and then they just got rid of them over in California because that was an awful idea.
But all that being said, I do love Universal Studios. I have a lot of memories from Universal Studios as a kid, and there's so many cool like nooks and crannies to this park. Like all the New York backlot area, there's like really nothing back here. Like where they did the Blues Brothers show. Like they have a big wide area where the Ghostbusters used to drive down, and they had a Blues Brothers show. But there's a bunch of like different alleys and just built out areas that just have nothing in them, and they're really, really cool actually.
There's just one that's a rock climbing wall experience.
Yeah, it's a Spider-Man rock climbing wall.
Yeah, it's not even Spider-Man thing. It's just like you're climbing up an alley using different alleyway pieces.
That's fun.
It's like, yeah, that's cool and all, but it's so expensive just to do it.
But yeah, so anyway, sorry on the weird Universal tangent there, but that's
every MCParks stream just turns into a theme park podcast.
Yeah. Now, have you guys ever given any thought to doing there's Mickey's Not So Scary Adventure or Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party? There's Halloween Horror Nights. Have you ever guys thought of like re-theming the parks for specific kind of events like that, or would that be way too much?
No, we do that. We decorate our parks every year to Halloween. We usually keep it in sync with when they put up the Halloween decorations in real life. So usually by now the fall decorations would be up already. But this year Magic Kingdoms aren't going up until September 15th, I believe is the date. So that's when we're going to put all of ours up as well. And similarly for Christmas, November 1st, we snap our fingers and not snap our fingers, put in a lot of work, put a lot of hard work to swap out all the fall decorations for all the Christmas decorations. And it is a fun time to be on the server and to see all the different things. And this year, especially since we've gone more into the pixel art and the armor stand sort of decor, look forward to a lot of neat stuff when we put our decorations up. As far as events like Not So Scary and Halloween Horror Nights are concerned, we have done Halloween Horror Nights in the past. We try to be one-to-one with all of the houses that are on offer for that year. We have one cast member in particular who is really into Halloween Horror Nights and kind of spearheads all of the work into getting those ready to go. As far as this year is concerned, we've not yet announced what our Halloween plans are going to be, but the expo that I talked about might have some tidbits.
All right.
Something cool about the Halloween stuff, like the seasonal stuff that we do every year is, the difference between Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party and, Halloween Horror Nights is very drastic. So we kind of created this hybrid event that we've done every year. It's called the MCParks Kinda Scary Halloween Party. So in, like Ryan said, in years past, we've done both, and it's kind of been an interesting way for us to be able to market to people that, are just looking for like the fun Halloween fireworks, or people that are just looking for like the Halloween Horror Nights mazes and stuff. And so it's always cool that, despite the fact that we're doing everything to scale, we give ourselves a little bit of like creative freedom to do something like that and kind of create this cool hybrid event that, we could even introduce people that are, younger and unsure if they'd like Halloween Horror Nights, us acting as like kind of a vehicle for them to test drive if they would like going to an event like that.
Oh, that's
awesome.
so clever.
For example, it told me that I would not like going to Halloween Horror Nights.
Nice.
It told me that too, but I still got suckered into it 1 year.
There you go. I feel like if they were doing it this year, then one of you would peer pressure me into doing it at least once. But
yeah, I'm so mad. I switched my days off at work. This is a complete side tangent. I switched my days off with work around like Wednesday, Thursday being off because that's when that's 2 of the nights for Halloween Horror Nights. And a bunch of friends were like, "Oh yeah, we'll go a bunch this year." And I was like, "I don't want to go." And they're like, "Well, you're switching your days off and you're going anyways." And so now I have different days off and I don't have to go to the Halloween event. So I don't know if that's a win or a loss in my books, but the jury's still out for that.
Yeah,
as
I
Darren
think
alluded to before, part of our Halloween and Christmas festivities are the special seasonal fireworks shows of the Magic Kingdom. So we have Hallowishes and Holiday Wishes.
okay.
So, do you try to incorporate some of the, especially with the new pixel art going on? Do you try and do some of the light systems that they use now for the fireworks shows? It's like with last year's Christmas fireworks show, they had a lot of icicle lights going on for incorporating Frozen and Elsa in that. Are you planning on trying to add that as well to some of your shows?
Yeah, so the pixel art stuff doesn't really play very well when you're, well, number one, when you're mapping it onto the not flat surface of the castle. And number two, when you're watching it from as far away as maybe the partner statue, or the maps won't render at all if you want to watch all the way back from like Tomorrowland Terrace. So instead what we do is we physically switch out the blocks on the castle to kind of give a coarse representation of what's supposed to be shown on screen. For things like the icicle lights, we'll use Minecraft particles to sort of simulate that showing off on the castle, and to kind of do those kinds of lights. And if you've seen Happily Ever After, when there are characters on, being projected onto the castle, we use armor stands and animate the armor stands around as if the characters are doing their thing. Happily Ever After utilizes all of those techniques to great effect, and I definitely recommend everybody check that out if they haven't seen it before.
And even if everybody's volunteers, do you have people working around the clock on some of these things, especially for these new shows that nobody's really seen before? Do your volunteers really just sit down and focus and try and get some of this stuff programmed in so you can get it out of the park as well?
Yeah, and that's all on their own time, and because they're, so passionate about these parks and, these experiences.
That is wild. I'm currently on One Fish, Two Fish, so don't mind me just riding around. I just love this. This looks beautiful. Man, so now let's talk a little bit about the your currency system you built out here in the park, because I'm currently wearing a Marvel shirt. I've got a Dole Whip in my hand. I've got all kinds of hats. I've got a Baby Yoda toy, or excuse me, the child toy I've got here that will rest on my shoulder. Like, how did all that come to be?
It's all Ryan.
It's all me. It's not all me. So I have always wanted to, my vision for MCParks has always been, since I joined, I've always wanted to get to the point where MCParks is effectively an MMORPG that the theme parks just happen to be the maps for. That's always where I've wanted to go from. I didn't get to tell the story of how I came on board to MCParks, so I guess I'll tell it now and segue into this. So back in 2012, I started a series on YouTube that I called Building Disney, and it was me, who is not a very good builder in Minecraft, attempting to build Walt Disney World in Minecraft. It did not look good. I was 13 years old when I started it too, so it's a little bit cringy. But I had only 200 subscribers at the time, and I had gone on to MCParks, or as I thought it was pronounced at the time, MCParks. And Darren actually recognized my username from my YouTube channel. And as obviously when you only have 200 subscribers, and you're 13 years old, that's a big deal. I guess at that point I was 15 years old. So Darren recognized me, invited me into a Skype call with him, or a Mumble voice channel. If people remember Mumble.
Oh yeah.
And we hit it off. We started doing a Disney Parks podcast together. And I joined MCParks because I initially wanted to kind of build out my idea of an MMO on my own map. But I knew that I didn't have the building skills to get there. And so I saw MCParks as an opportunity to sort of, eventually make that vision a reality. And lo and behold, we're here years and years later, and we're starting to see the fruits of some of that. And the economy system is kind of, one idea, one stepping point towards that. So the economy system, as you see it today, got started last May, late last May in 2019. And, we obviously wanted to kind of give you reasons to ride our rides and to ride them to the end, to showcase the hard work that our cast members do. And so we give you this currency called park points. The exchange rate of a park point is approximately you get 10 for every minute of ride time. Now that fluctuates based on different rides, and sometimes we have special bonuses going on that you'll get more park points for riding certain rides. But you can then use those park points to buy a bunch of neat merchandise items in all of the parks. And so, like you said, Jack, you have items in your inventory right now that are from like all the different parks. I saw a bunch of awesome Achievement Hunter fan art of people, who have all of their mismatched, kind of costumes on with all their different clothing items and different things in their inventories. And it's just like, it's so neat to see what people have concocted up and how much fun we're able to spark in people of collecting all these different things. Like you have a Thing 1 and Thing 2 slippers. Is that a Harry Potter room you're holding?
I think so.
And,
yeah.
And a Marvel shirt. Like, how nuts is that? And how crazy is that? And it's so cool that these ideas that we've concocted, and it's much like you're in an MMO and everyone has completed all their different quests and gotten a bunch of interesting, unique merchandise that they can all kind of put on their character. And it's a similar thing here. And we alluded earlier to the fact that we're working on achievements and quests and stuff like that, and we're really working to the point where this is basically an MMORPG, and the parks that you're in, and the fact that we have one-to-one recreations of these theme parks with working attractions is just a very small part of it.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the thing I love, especially something like Minecraft, because it's kind of Minecraft, the idea behind it is build whatever you want, make your own worlds, and you guys have. And it's and the crazy thing is you've made something that is so recognizable. Like me, I've been to Orlando in over a year and a half now, but it's I walk in, I'm like, oh yeah, I know exactly where I'm at right now. You could you could literally warp me to pretty much anywhere in these parks, and I'd be like, oh yeah, I know, I could probably figure out where I need to be or where I am in a matter of just spinning around in a circle. It's so well done, and I respect it so much.
And that's
I've spent more time in Universal in Minecraft than I have in real life. When I go to Universal, I know where everything is, and I know what's going on because of the server, and that's pretty sweet.
I will say you guys need more Harry Potter merch for sure.
We're there. Stay tuned. When we open Hogsmeade in earnest, with Hagrid's open and with the Hogwarts Express open, there will be lots more Harry Potter merch. Just cool. You wait.
Yeah, I currently have a. I've got a Hogwarts robe, but it's not my thing's not working right now. So,
which house are you?
I'm Hufflepuff, man.
Oh, nice. Ravenclaw over here.
Ravenclaw.
Oh,
nerds.
You're probably Slytherin, Darren.
Yeah.
Nerd and proud.
But even stuff like you've got the snowman right over here, right? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, it's oh yeah, that's where the snowman goes, right here. Yeah. Then you go take your photo on the bridge right here. So get your photo in front of the castle,
Yep. See, you're mentioning all these little details, right? I think one of the great things about the Universal parks and about the Disney parks is every tiny little detail in the parks is somebody's favorite little thing, right? Mm-hmm. The view from that bridge might be someone's favorite thing in the park. That snowman might be someone's favorite thing in the park. Every little detail might be somebody's favorite thing. And that's one of the reasons why we want to have all these little details in our park is we want everyone to be able to find their favorite thing in our park, because that's when you get that awe moment that we're recreating the entire experience. That's what we really want to get to.
So
Yeah.
how often do you watch videos like top 10 secret things in each area of the park to make sure you have everything?
Yeah.
Like the Pascals and even the hidden stuff all across Epcot, where there's a hidden character in every Epcot area.
Yeah, I mean, and some of it's watching videos. A lot of us obviously are very well versed in theme park lore, and yeah, so a lot of us just like intrinsically know a lot of this stuff, yeah. So there's lots of research and lots of calling upon personal experience that's required to get to this place. Yes, a day in the park with Barney. That's actually one of our cast members there.
Nice.
Yeah,
And so,
a day in the park with Barney.
I see right now there's a queue to meet Mickey Mouse, so we can go meet Mickey Mouse right now. Like that's something relatively new you guys have just added, where you can actually meet characters, right?
It's not super new. We just happen to have such like an army of guest relations cast members who were able to help out with those experiences. But yeah, you can go, you can meet characters, get your pictures taken with them. What were we saying, Darren?
I was saying way more frequently now than we did in the past, just because we have just the volume of people that kind of help run those events.
And so,
shout out to our guest relations department; they do an awesome job.
And when it's like, hey, go meet Mickey, and you actually meet him, like you can get a photo with him and stuff. Like that's actually a person running as Mickey, right? Like that's not AI. That's not.
Jack?
Well,
what do you mean, Jack? That's Mickey Mouse.
There's people who are friends with Mickey Mouse, but like.
Yeah.
But it's not an AI though. It's not an AI. It's actually like.
No, it's not an AI.
That's wild. That's so cool.
Well, like you guys have done such a great experience by just adding on so much to it, like getting autographs, finding random characters in the parks, and where do you guys meet regularly to talk about what can you do to make this one step better?
Oh yeah, we have weekly. We do weekly cast member meetings, and we also do weekly public meetings on our Discord server. So our cast members will all meet once a week, and we go over all of the work that has gone on in the many departments, and then we kind of talk about future things that we're working on. People will give suggestions and whatnot. And then after our cast member meeting, we go into a public meeting where there's usually about 100 guests all hanging out, and we talk about what's going on the server to the guests. We answer questions. It's sort of like a press conference with me and Darren. And quite honestly, that's my favorite part of the week is going into the public meeting and talking with all of our guests as to what's going on.
That's awesome, man. And I gotta say, like, so some of the attractions you guys like, what is the oldest attraction you've got open right now, like versus I mean, I guess Tower of Terror is probably the newest one, right? So what will be the oldest?
The oldest.
Oh, the oldest. Gosh,
because there's
that's been untouched.
Yeah, because there's some, like I rode the Men in Black ride not too long ago, and it's like, okay,
that's probably the oldest.
Oh, it is.
Probably the oldest.
There you
anything
go. Because like I see stuff like you've done, like the Amazing Spider-Man, like that's one that like you need to, if you're gonna ride the Amazing Spider-Man in the game, you need to do it with the / audio thing going, because if you have that up and running, you'll be able to. It's incredible. Like if you've actually ridden the attraction and know how it works, it's so cool how it's pulled off in this game and in the server, excuse me, and yeah, but do it properly. I don't want you to experience it through my screen. That's why I'm not riding that one.
For a while, Test Track was the oldest ride we had on here, and part of the reason was because like it was like the last like real build that I worked on. Just because, like I said, I don't build much anymore, just because everyone's abilities have eclipsed well over mine. But if you want, here's a fun segue. We could go test ride it real quick, the four of us.
Oh, what do you know? I happen to be standing here right now with you.
Darren, I love how you went there, because I was gonna segue to the same exact thing.
Ooh.
Alrighty, let's go into test.
I might need to get pulled over there.
He went through the wall. He went through the wall. How?
Let's see. Have you teleported them in? Cool.
Hello. Hello.
Oh, here you go, Jack.
I'm in.
So
I brought my churro. Look at all these suckers outside. Can't get in here.
So maybe you can hit that. Maybe this will be revealed at your conference next week. But are there plans to add the mini games that are also part of the rides? Like for this one, where you get to create your own vehicle and get scored on it.
Yeah, so that's actually one of the things that's holding this back from being opened right now. Is we do want to have some notion of the create your own ride vehicle experience when we open. So for now, we're just going to walk straight through the design studio. Ignore the big grass blocks. That's actually part of the speccing out for the state design stations. So normally that's where you would design your vehicle. However, in real life right now, you cannot design your own vehicle because of the touch surfaces.
Yeah.
So you walk right through, and we're making our way over to the sim track.
No, I don't know if I've actually ridden the newest version of Test Track, like the crazy Tron looking ones. Yeah.
Okay. I will say that this one is almost certainly okay to have your audio on for if you'd like to turn it on.
Sure, why not?
Yeah. Because this is not
one thing that just popped up.
Yeah.
241,245 guests have joined MCParks in its lifetime.
Yeah.
That's just amazing.
That's nuts.
I just want to say that I found this only because I posted on Reddit one day looking for a way to do Disney World. Because I did a similar stream to my Disney World stream, but Disneyland with Disneyland Adventure.
Yeah.
And some people commented, "Oh, you have to check out MCParks. It has to be MCParks. They do such a great job." And you guys have just spread so quickly. I mean, it's been 8 years, but like, you guys just stick out so much as the online place to go to get that Disney fix.
Yeah.
Have you ever imagined like this little fun project you guys just came up with one day being this big?
I didn't, Darren. Did you?
To be honest, I was shocked it lasted more than like a month or two.
You guys, I think we got a stowaway in here. This Kevin Powers dude.
Kevin Powers. He's one of our cast members.
Okay.
He just teleported himself away.
Okay, I was gonna say. All right, I got the audio going. So if you're watching the stream right now, you might have some music too. I think. Let me know if you hear it.
Cool. All right, there is the Test Track ride vehicle.
Here we go.
Hop on in. Cool.
Hey guys.
I'm in the middle.
Yay.
I can't get to the end. Okay, here we go.
So Jack, you said that the last time you rode this was when it was more realistic.
Yeah. And I've watched ride through videos of this actually, so I kind of know what this one looks like. But like I remember, where it would be, you would go through and it'll be like, oh, now we're gonna do acid testing. Hey, look, it's Darren. Oh, you're waving.
These are seatbelt checks. He's telling us to pull on the yellow.
Oh yeah,
tab.
sorry, pull on the tab. Pull. It's good.
There you go.
Okay, he's waving. Thanks. Bye. Is that your cousin, Darren?
Yeah. Actually, I did my college program at Test Track, so it's like a real homage to me.
Oh, here we go. Oh, this looks awesome.
During the sim track.
I love the sparkle effects, like the particle effects.
Yes. So, if you were talking before about the icicle effects on the castle, those are the same things that we use for that.
The capability test to see how your vehicle designs perform under
That's so
challenging
cool.
weather and surface
All
conditions.
right, capability
Monitoring road
test.
surface.
Monitoring road surface.
Oh,
Connecting with OnStar. I think our car's broken. Very.
OnStar, what'd you do?
Data acquired.
Disney World.
Oh, is Disney World going down?
Yeah.
it might be. It's worth noting right now, a lot of our issues aren't in like the server TPS or anything like that. We have some weird network bottlenecks that I'm working to debug. It's tough work, but yeah, we're getting there. So we might have to restart this ride. We'll see.
No worries at all. Now, if
It's also possible that we'll go ahead.
I was gonna say if I post my link to my audio, like if can anyone listen to that, or does it have to be just me? Like does it freak out when more than one person listens to it?
That would work.
That would work.
Yeah.
All right. So here you go. I'll post it in my chat.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
We just yeah.
We just caught
There
up.
you go.
It might be a little weird for your chat since they have a delay, so they might hear things before it actually happens on screen.
Oh, that is true. Yeah.
Aerodynamic efficiency drive systems analysis. Hyperspectral imaging.
Ooh, look at a nice car.
Yeah. Of course, you just hack through a lot of the effects, but oh well.
Yeah. Sort of blasted through the front half of the ride.
So, like I said, it's a networking bottleneck. So all that stuff happened on the server. It just waited to send all the packets to us. That's why it happens like that. It's really annoying.
Now, I asked Darren about this before. I think maybe Ryan, if I asked you too, there's no way to lock your camera to the perspective of a vehicle, right? Like, is there any way you can do that? Because I noticed, like riding like Incredible Hulk or anything that flips upside down, the camera goes a bit wonky anytime that stuff happens. Like even this, like if I don't touch anything, I'm just gonna stare off into one perspective.
Yeah, so there's probably good ways to do it. The problem is if you fix someone's rotation, then they can't like move their head to go see some turn around and look at a little detail that's behind them or something like that. And that's like a balancing act that you definitely want to have, because maybe if we had it be like an option for people, maybe would be the best idea to do it.
Even if you give him like give him like a 30-degree window where you can rotate your head a little bit, but not all the way,
Yeah, so you can't really do that because here comes the door. Outside we go. You can't really do it that way because if you give them that little 30-degree window, then there's going to be lots of unnatural like snapping that your head's going to do back to the center point. You know what I mean? You can kind of only do all or nothing. It's something that we've tried and something that the main developer for the track system plugin that we use has also tried. And the reason why we don't use it is because we're sort of unimpressed with the current technology to do that. But who knows? It's something that definitely has a possibility for innovation in the future.
Okay. Like even like this, it's like my head is tilted, perfectly straight. It's like, oh god.
So that you can't really change because you can't have a Minecraft character's head be tilted 45 degrees like in that dimension. You're either upside down because your name is Dinnerbone, or you're right side up, and those are the only two choices.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always like Test Track because when you're around the outside of it, if you know where to look, you can see the employee hospital or like minor emergency center that you can go to.
When you're on that banked section, look on the bottom and you'll see a bunch of little pieces of tires because of the tires that blow up in there.
That's awesome.
How many tires are on the vehicle, Darren?
So it's the 4 main ones, and then I believe that there's 12 additional ones that carry like the undercarriage of the vehicle.
That's awesome. That is cool, man. Where's our ride photo?
Soon.
Is that actually something you're working on? Oh, really?
Yes, it is. Yep.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yep. And Jack, maybe turn off your audio now before you forget, just in case we run into something.
All right, so I'll post my audio in the chat if you guys want to hear it. So here, let me post this link. So if you want to hear my audio, it's right there. I'm not going to have it live on my stream though. So you won't hear it on my stream. And when you watch it live, it's going to be a little bit delayed, but you'll notice like when we walk around different areas of parks and stuff, it'll actually be it'll make noise, or it'll play noise appropriate to the area we're in.
Sorry, I was laughing because I just went to go list our audio sessions and I see 30 people whose name happened to be Jack_AH.
Nice.
We've never tried this before, having like tons of people use the same person. Theoretically, it should work just fine. I mean, I wrote it and I think it should work just fine. So we're gonna find out. It's gonna be fun.
Ooh, nice Test Track shirt. Shirt shelf. Backpack shelf. Ooh.
So remember how we were talking about how our Imagineers wanted to populate all the shelves and stuff like that?
Yeah.
One of the issues with that is they started putting all these stuff up on the racks, and they didn't leave room for us to actually put the shop shelves like to buy things. And so this is kind of the happy medium we decided. So Imagineers who design shops now, they do the thinking work to decide where in the shop different shelves should go, and that's another part of the Imagineering process now.
Oh, that's cool. Sim car shelf. Oh, nice little cars.
Yeah.
That's so rad.
Now I can teleport you out of the building.
Oh god, I'm stuck inside.
I'm okay with living here.
Okay.
This one's
Got my little test track car here.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So you guys have all these one-to-one realistic
Sweet.
parks. Have you ever thought about going into making your own park, or even making Blizzard World from Overwatch into a real park?
You have these very pointed suggestions. Earlier you were asking us about Kingdom Hearts, and I said, how about Blizzard World? So we used to have a couple custom projects that we worked on. They were sort of shelved due to lack of interest of some of our team, and they were showing their age. But it's definitely an avenue that we're looking at and deciding what we want to do. Should we plug the expo again, Darren?
Yeah.
Oh,
September 12th, 4 p.m. MCParks.us/expo, or on the YouTube channel.
Oh god, what happened here? This poor car, someone went off the track.
So that's actually the test vehicle that's outside. So this is where you go to sit down to see if you're going to fit into the ride vehicle when you,
Get
so you have to wait in line just to figure out that you can't fit.
It's a little wedged into the wall, but that's okay.
That's how it is in real life too. It's really weird. So they use it a lot for like wheelchair transfers and stuff. So it's literally just the first 2 seats of the car and then the wall.
Huh. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it's horribly placed. I guess they don't want like children like dangling around on it and causing a ruckus, but it looks weird in real life, but it really doesn't translate well at all on here.
Now here's Mission Space, one of the coolest design buildings. Like the entrance to the Mission Space is so cool, and the queue is fantastic, but the ride itself is rough.
Yeah,
it's one of the few rides that I straight up can't do it anymore. Like, or at least do the normal version of it. Yeah, either that or I'll just bail. Like I'll have friends. I'll be like, you guys should go on it. Then I'll get there. I'm like, hey, I'm not riding it. And they're like, what? And then
I went on the green mission one with actually one of our MCParks cast members fairly recently, and we the green one, so the one that doesn't do the super spinny action. It just is kind of like a chill flight over Earth, and our ride vehicle was making some very interesting noises that it's definitely not supposed to make.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, just what you want.
Now, do you guys are you building what is it? Is it Space 212 or what's the name of the restaurant?
220.
Now?
Space 220. Called so because 220 miles is one of the definitions for where space starts. Yeah, so that's kind of what this building is just kind of hanging out.
Okay.
We haven't yet. I mean, obviously, this building, this restaurant's been delayed so many times.
Yeah.
Who knows when it's actually going to open now, because Patina's not doing. That's the name of the company that runs that restaurant, and actually several other restaurants around Epcot. They're not doing too great. But when it opens, we will most certainly get our interior ready to go for it as well.
Nice.
Yeah, it's going to be fun though. It's going to be almost like Coral Reef, but instead of looking at an aquarium, you're in space.
Yeah, and so if you're watching right now, so this is Epcot. We're flying around, and Epcot is under some massive renovation. The actual theme park itself is under a massive renovation right now. This right here is it was Wonders of Life. Now it's becoming the Let's Play Pavilion.
The play pavilion. Don't get too self-indulgent here.
Well, there's big signs out front that say "Let's Play" on them. So sorry,
yes.
It's the play pavilion. Yeah, I love the Wonders of Life area. They had a really awesome mural on the inside wall. But I think this is all going to be like digital.
That's not being saved.
What was that?
Yeah,
that's not sticking around.
Yeah. Yeah, right here. And then next to that is going to be the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, which is great. This taking over the Universe of Energy attraction. Ellen's Universe of Energy. It's no longer her universe. She's not allowed to have it anymore.
Nope.
And so
too controversial.
Yeah. I like the solar panels you guys put on top here too. That's cool.
Yep. Yeah, so if you go into the center of our future world, you'll see that it's just about as much of a mess as it is in real life, because this is another construction project that we've tried to keep up to date with the changes that are happening in real life as well.
I do like that.
And to that point, yeah, you're going over to the center place now.
Yeah, you've got the new or I guess the old acrylic lights or whatever these are, the logo at the front of the park, so
it looks so good.
Yeah, I've seen Mickey Views has gone over there a couple times and shown off videos of it, and it's like, damn, it looks good. Still got walls around it, but
I can't wait for these walls to go down.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
and there's also the changes to France for the new Ratatouille ride, Ratatouille area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's coming up pretty quick too. Hopefully that opens sometime soon. So we're working on. We have kind of. I think we have the exterior of the Ratatouille show building right now, but we haven't started any of the the guest areas quite yet.
I will say there's still a lot of what is this? Not inner space. What was it? Okay, I guess you are tearing it down slowly to sort of recreate what's going on in the park. Oop, I've fallen out of the sky. So right now, if you've ever been to Epcot before, let me get really high. We're looking towards the front of the park, like the entrance to the park. And then there was innovations east and west, and they're currently destroying, is it the west side, I guess?
Yeah, the west side.
So this whole giant white building, there was two of them like this, that in the original plan, they were going to actually expand on it and add a whole bunch of new stuff to it. But now they're destroying the west one, and just leveling it completely and replacing all of this area with like an outdoor kind of Moana-themed water area. It was actually like really lush and green and cool looking, and then kind of redoing the other one. And so and supposedly they're building a new kind of like 2-story area at the end, like right at the beginning of the nations, right?
It's like a picnic area, kind of.
Yeah, it's going to be the new festival center. I'm sure they want to do like a fireworks dessert party on the rooftop. However, that's one of the things that's rumored to maybe be cut. So we'll see.
Yeah,
and the changes to England too.
Yeah, it was going to be a Mary Poppins ride, right? Or was it just Mary Poppins area?
No, they're adding
Mary
a
Poppins
ride
attraction that also might have been cut. We'll see.
Now, very important question for you gentlemen. So when you are drinking around the world, do you start in England or do you start in Canada or do you start in Mexico?
I think you got to start in Mexico. That's my opinion.
Really?
It depends on where I enter the park, to be
It's
honest.
also true. Because if you enter from International Gateway from the Epcot resorts, it might start in France.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know?
Now,
Depends on where you are.
see, for me, it's you always start in Canada with a Labatt Blue, and then you finish with a frozen margarita or a tequila shot in Mexico. So, those of you who don't know, there is a unofficial game called Drinking Around the World, where you try to drink an adult beverage on every single one of the different nations as you go around the Lagoon of Nations or whatever it's called. And so you can start in Canada on the right. If you go anti-clockwise, and if you go clockwise, you can start in Mexico on the left. And so you go Canada, and then you go to England and get yourself a pint over at the Rose and Crown. It's a great. I get myself a dark and stormy in here. I love this place.
There you go, Billy the Door in chat shouting out the avocado margarita. That's a good one.
So while we're here, do you guys hope for any changes that they'll ever implement to the real park? Any new areas of the World Showcase? Any changes to rides?
See, the thing that I would always come back with that question to is I would love to see the return of Epcot's Future World as being the permanent World's Fair. I have like a little bit of a fascination with, World's Fairs and, partially because of how they gave birth to the modern theme park, but also just because it's a cool little bit of optimism and futurism and showing off like cool things that humanity is working on, like, absent of politics and, stuff like that. And it would be really cool if Innovention still existed in a way that it could be like a permanent World's Fair. Unfortunately, it's very clear that that's not the direction they're going in. But that would probably be what I would hope for.
I always said a very similar thing about like Disney Quest and Disney Springs, right? So if they had taken it and instead of turning it into NBA experience or just shuttering it or whatever plans may have been,
Not forgetting it.
I always said that they should have gone to a couple different like large tech companies and been like, here, you can have a floor, do whatever you want, show off the cool stuff you have, just keep maintaining it and, enjoy the advertising space. Like Sony gets a floor, Microsoft gets a floor, Apple gets a floor, Google gets a floor. And just because, the changes that like, would be interventions, always staying updated and stuff like that's clearly not going to happen. But if you just like gave them their own space and just like let them be responsible for updating it and just, presenting it to, millions of people a year, like they would do that on their own.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was something I had always like hoped for.
Second place for me would be exactly what they're doing with the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel.
And I hope they finish that and not just.
They will. That's getting finished. 100%.
Oh, that thing is going to make so much money. Yeah, I can't imagine them not finishing that.
I mean, I'm going to drop an arm and a leg on it.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
So you'll be like Luke.
I would love to see.
I look forward to.
So what about you, Jack? Is there anything that you would hope that Disney changes with either Epcot or any of the parks
Man,
for the better?
I'm a sort of what's like not kill your dreams kind of guy. Or destroy your creations. I love when it's like I worked at two different attractions when I was working at Disney. I did in the college program. Both of them are gone, And it's sad, but at the same time, I love that they always innovate and always come up with new stuff. And I'm all about that. There's so many people like, oh my God, I can't believe you're taking down Splash Mountain. Who cares?
Sure.
It's like change stuff, man. Like update it, change it, make things new. Like there's so many cool things to be done that people are so like, oh, we can't ever get rid of Carousel of Progress. Like, why not? Like I mean, like use the same concept but change it, make it different, like or update it to like modern times. Do like a future version of it. I mean, Carousel of Progress is in Future World. Yeah, it's like Carousel of Progress is in Future World, and it's one of the most outdated things on there. Like the last bit of it is supposed to be in the future, and it's all stuff that existed 10 years ago. So it's like, I'm all about like taking things, changing it, making them new, and so I'm always down. Like seeing what they're doing, like with Batu and Black Spire Outpost, like that. I love that kind of stuff where you really feel like you're in a totally different area, and I hope we get to continue seeing more stuff like that. I've heard the rumors that they're going to complete the circle at MGM Studios at Hollywood Studios, where they'll tear out, basically like make a giant circle around what used to be the animation courtyard and kind of loop that over to the rock and roller coaster area. And that would be awesome. Like I would love to see that, like, because there is no sort of flow of traffic in that park. Like if you try to get the Sunset versus like the back of the park, they're all like so sporadic and different. So I would love to see that happen. I mean, but that being said, I'm all for anything. Cooper, my cat has just decided he wants to be parts of the stream.
I'm looking at the stream.
But yeah, like I'm all about that. Like just change stuff up, make things different, and try new things, and see what works and see what doesn't work. But yeah. So that's what I would say. That being said, you guys have a cool opportunity where we've talked about it before, where you've kicked around the idea of doing like sort of a like dream park, where stuff that was open, like old attractions and things, you might bring back. Is that still an option you're thinking about?
We're always thinking about stuff like that. Darren, you want to speak more to some of that?
Yeah, so Ryan touched upon it earlier when we were talking about like custom parks, and it's always been like an idea to bring that sort of stuff back, and to even expand upon it by having kind of like this like defunct land of a park where it's just all these extinct attractions together, and it comes with its own challenges. We have to, if we were to move into something like that, we have to decide if we want it to be like the physical attractions to scale, or we're just trying to capture more of like the essence of the attraction. And that kind of ranges per attraction, because for something like Great Movie Ride that had, massive history and was very well documented and lasted 30 years or 29 years, it's tough because we could, emulate that very well to scale. But if we wanted to do something like, one of the shorter lived attractions that was around in like the 70s or 80s, well, that's tougher because, there's not as much documentation. There's not as many resources and stuff. And so we're constantly like always battling, as we progress and we move forward, we're always kind of debating whether we want to kick around the ideas like that. But we have our hands pretty full on everything we're working on right now to kind of take up, the additional research of building this like extinct attraction park. We got a whole massive list of attractions and new lands we're working on. So, but yeah, I've said it, and I'll say it on stream right now so you can hold me to it. If we ever build a park like that and we have Great Movie Ride, Jack, you're doing one of the voiceovers for it.
100%, man. 100%. Now you've talked about that in the past. Like there are some attractions that have spiels on them where you have like a live tour guide. Have you ever dealt with that? I mean, like, would that be something you would just rip audio from like a YouTube video and use that? Like something on like not Pirates, like Jungle Cruise or Safari. Like how does that kind of stuff work?
We are working on a couple attractions that feature cast member performances pretty heavily right now. We're working on Jungle Cruise. We're also working on Rise of the Resistance, which obviously, I'll keep it as spoiler light as possible.
Haven't ridden it yet.
It involved performances from some cast members, and we don't want that to feel too formulaic and like it's just another audio spiel. And so what we're doing for stuff like that is we're going to have multiple different possibilities for the voices that you might hear. And they're going to be the voices of MCParks cast members and other important people in our community.
Oh, cool.
And so it's going to be random. And so you're gonna get onto your Jungle Cruise boat, and maybe Darren's your skipper. Maybe the guest who sponsored the ride on our server is going to be the skipper. Maybe it'll be
Jack's the skipper.
Maybe Jack will be the skipper.
Oh, God.
You never know.
That would be bonkers.
You never know. But you never know who will be the skipper, and there'll be a different experience every time because obviously, depending on who your skipper is on Jungle Cruise, they might tell different jokes because that's something the Jungle Cruise skippers can do. Something on the on Rise of the Resistance, you might encounter some different characters who might say different things similarly. And we're working on the software to support that now, and we're really excited for when those experiences are live on the server.
That's badass. I do have one bone to pick with you guys. I'm here at the American Experience at Epcot, and I'm here at the funnel cake stand, and I can't buy a funnel cake. So funnel cakes, like, they used to only exist in two places. There was one at Hollywood Studios, which at the time was MGM Studios, and then American Experience right here. And there's no funnel cake. I can't purchase my funnel cake or go to the one over at Indiana Jones and get a funnel cake at the studios. I think they're on all 4 parks now, but for a while, it was only at over by Indiana Jones at Hollywood Studios, and then right here at American Experience, and the server went down. Is that how you respond? I demand to get a funnel cake, and you crash the server.
Here you go. Yeah, I got some good news. I've got some good news for you. One of our resource pack artists has just said that they will make a funnel cake model just for you. They want to know what your favorite flavor of funnel cake is.
Oh God, it's the basic one with the powdered sugar, man. That's what you got to go for.
All right.
No funky, no extra stuff, no strawberries, no chocolate sprayed on top. Just give me a funnel cake with just a normal, all it is just the fried sugar or the fried dough, and then throw some powdered sugar on top of it, and I'm good to go.
You make me hungry.
Lego, so she's starting on that for you.
All right.
I'll send you a picture when it's done before it's added in.
Beautiful. Is today Sunday or is today Saturday? What is today?
Today is Sunday.
Okay, I've lost all track of time.
Yep.
I was
knows what time.
Yeah.
What is time?
So you brought this up before, how there was like some big push after quarantine started. You got some push on TikTok. What about from influencers and YouTubers? Have you seen a big push from them as well, visiting these parks when the parks were closed or when it's limited capacity now? And them just advertising to their fans as well?
So it's interesting because, like, we have a very distinct, like, target audience that we hit. It's not necessarily like people that play Minecraft, and it's also not necessarily people that play video games. It's kind of this like people that like Disney. It's this very weird, like, hybrid of the two. And so we get a lot of our, like, long-term users from when we can, hit the center of that Venn diagram. And we get a lot of, like, overflows. So, like, when the Achievement Hunter videos went up, Ryan, I think you have, like, actual numbers. But we had a decent spike up for, like, that week just because people were coming and checking it out. But we really thrive when we don't get people just visiting those 1 or 2 times. It's when people come and they stay for a while and they are on for like an hour plus and they ride 5-6 attractions, buy merchandise. Then they really start kind of peeling back the layers and realizing just how much of a thorough experience this is. But it's definitely our toughest barrier to get people from just like logging on and riding Space Mountain and leaving to, here, I'm now going to try and fight for the ride leaderboard for, insert ride here. And that's always been like our biggest challenge, kind of getting that overlap.
I'm working on the People Mover leaderboard right now.
I shouldn't have going to try and fight for it.
Yeah. And it's funny because like I sort of like we have every morning at 10 a.m. we have a Achievement Hunter meeting where that's what usually like start of the day we all meet up and we're on Discord all talking and whatnot. It's kind of about what we're going to do for the day and how we're going to do everything. And it lands that at 10 a.m. every morning you guys shoot off fireworks at the Magic Kingdom. So I pretty much start my morning, I boot up my computers, log into the server, and then I just watch the fireworks as we have our Achievement Hunter meeting. And as soon as the fireworks are over, I go warp over to the People Mover and I ride that around. And then I start my day. So it's like every single day I begin with. Yeah, and so, but it is funny because I definitely have people that will follow me that like know where I like okay, Jack's gonna watch this. Okay, now he's gonna go there. And so none of the robes why aren't the robes spawning for me? I had it; they were working before.
That's sad.
Alas. Anyway,
You're just a mere muggle. You can't see them.
I guess not. Also, I had a Marvel shirt on that now since the break, the reset, it doesn't work anymore. So
Yeah, Optifine. So the way that we make that work, so in vanilla Minecraft, you can't. So we make use of having. So obviously there was a joke in the Achievement Hunter video when Kevin says, "Wait, they're all axes," or whatever he said, and that's because all of our items are different durability values of different tools in Minecraft.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's all done on the resource pack. But with armor, you can't do that the same way. Minecraft doesn't support it. That being said, Optifine does. And so that's why you need Optifine to see the shirt textures. Now, unfortunately, Optifine, the way that Optifine does it is also like kind of broken. Because just some open source project that some lovely community members maintain. So sometimes it doesn't load things properly, and sometimes when you switch out resource packs and relog into servers and restart your game, it doesn't super work right. But it's when it works, it's awesome.
Yeah. Have you guys ever thought about creating your own sort of pack where it's just like, this is the MCParks, like add-on for Minecraft, and just to be able to, just be like, go here, this is all in one built in? Yeah,
that's a neat idea. One of the fact that we never want to like have the default way of experiencing MCParks like require too much like technical knowledge. It's one of the reasons why before 2018 never really used a resource pack at all, is because we wanted people who even didn't know how to install a resource pack still be able to experience the server. We have kicked around the idea of having some sort of a client that you could install into your computer that would always keep your resource pack up to date and make sure you have stuff like the latest version of Optifine and fixed builds of it and everything. That's definitely something that has come up. Yeah, quality of life things like that, I guess, especially because when it comes to the development end of things, our resources are quite limited. So maybe one day.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely a good idea though, and it's definitely something that I think would make this a much more solid, product for people.
Yeah, like if you find a stable version of Optifine that you can then modify to sort of manipulate your own way, where it's like, all right, we're just going to add one thing and not touch anything else.
Yeah. And of course, if I did do that, I'd probably want to check in that code upstream to Optifine as well for everyone else in the community's benefit, because that's the kind of person I am.
Well, that's the way to do it. Man. So, yeah, go ahead.
Do you have any other dreams like for this, like bringing it to Bedrock Edition so people can access it on the console versions and on their phones?
Speaking of open source software, there are a couple open source projects working to bridge the gap between Java Edition and Bedrock Edition. I've contributed a little bit to one of them, and the end goal is to use that to allow for Bedrock Edition clients to connect to our existing Java server. Now, how much we're going to let them do, like for example, it might be that riding a ride is just super janky and doesn't work very well, or some of the resource pack features don't work because of the way that Bedrock Edition resource packs are different than Java Edition resource packs. So we'll see what the feature parity is between being on MCParks as a Bedrock guest or a Java guest, but it's definitely something we're working towards. It's something, again, that we kind of put on the back burner when all of the TikTok attention and quarantine happened because of all of the scalability problems we were just running into. And if we opened the floodgates to all Bedrock Edition players as well, we'd probably get a huge influx of users that we want to make sure that we're ready to handle.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the things that we're sort of that we're waiting on to get to that point. But 100% Bedrock Edition is something that we're targeting on supporting.
That's cool. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I mean, that's the platform of the game that's growing the most right now.
Yeah, I will say my nephew finally got a computer that could run your server, and he's lost his freaking mind.
I love that.
Yeah, he's like 6, maybe 7, I don't know, 9, somewhere in there. And yeah, he's been playing a lot of Minecraft. And when he got into here, he was telling me about it before he could access it. And he was like, "Oh yeah, I've read about this thing." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's really cool. Actually, I know those guys." He's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." I will say, those of you watching right now, if you get a chance, ride the Mummy Ride. The Mummy Ride is fantastic as well. That's another fun one.
It's funny that you say that, because the Mummy Ride's one of the oldest rides that hasn't been touched on the server.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I mean, it was groundbreaking when we first opened it, as you can imagine, but like that hasn't been touched for about 5 years, and it's definitely due for an upgrade.
Well,
Jake, want to give it a quick ride?
Sure. Why not? My chat will be able to hear it, but I won't be able to. So, yeah, this is definitely a fun attraction. This is, I think the way Universal handled the transition from Confrontation to the Mummy was really, really well done. Because it was sad, because like I loved Confrontation, the smell of Confrontation, like for some reason I have very distinctly in my head. But they handled it very well, where they had like a big party, and it was like, oh yeah, the last day you can ride Confrontation, and you know, people showed up for it, and like that was cool, and I like that. I'm in here.
Got it.
All right, someone's in between us, Matsura. Here
So
we go.
As you can see, those are just regular old mine carts, because that's how far back they go.
Yeah.
We started doing a custom ride vehicle thing in January 2018, and since then, every new attraction that we've opened has had a custom ride vehicle, and every attraction that we've like refreshed and changed up and stuff, then also gets a custom ride vehicle when that refurbishment process is happening.
Man, the curse is real. Man.
It's a good ride in real life. I love that ride.
It's a really great ride. The trick exit is so good.
Yeah, it got me the first time I rode it.
The fire ceiling, oh, it's so well done. It's really great.
Do you guys prefer this one or the Hollywood one?
This one's better, in my opinion.
Yeah, this one's much better. I do like the screen you have up there is just the changing blocks. It's like, all right, yeah, good stuff. And then bad stuff.
That's one of the older rides.
That's still really impressive, though. Oh, here comes the ceiling. Is it coming down? Oh, there it goes. Whoa, yeah. Whoa.
Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah. This is more advanced than I remember. Those
held up
in
for
the air.
years.
Guardians aren't supposed to be in the air like that. But
that's okay. Oh, here come all the bugs. Ah, the bugs. Didn't they used to touch the back of your leg in this ride? Like,
I think they had, some air blowers for that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like never work now, but
I always get confused between that and It's Tough to Be a Bug.
Oh yeah.
Because I always think of the effect at the end where like the bugs are exiting the theater first, and then I think of that. I go on Mummy, and then it doesn't happen, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm thinking of the other bug part of an attraction.
In this great section here where his mouth opens. Your souls are mine! Whee!
Death is only the beginning.
I do like that you're taking advantage of like actual Minecraft stuff. Like you have the night vision on or whatever, or like darkening right now, so like it actually gets darker when you're in here. Like that's really, really cool how you used actual vanilla Minecraft stuff to make it happen.
Oh yeah.
And we're out. Yeah.
I was definitely like all the
ride.
You use effects like just giving you potion effects and things like that, because those were the only things we had in our repertoire before we actually made any of our custom software.
Ride photo, smile, click right there.
Do you guys ever mess with the rides if there's a known breakdown or error, like with the Indiana Jones ride where there's no ice falling, or the Mummy on Everest being the disco Yeti? Do you guys ever change it in the game as well?
So we have Disco Yeti. For Indiana Jones, we actually had a very long discussion about what we wanted to do with Indiana Jones, because there are so many effects that haven't worked for years, or like intermittently don't work. I forget. We ended up making some like case by case decisions on what we were and weren't going to do. I don't remember all of them.
What it came down to was if it was like an effect that like worked like once in the 90s, we weren't going to do it. But if it's something that is like just like intermittently broken, or is like frequently broken but occasionally works, like we want to build the best version of the attractions that we can, and that includes many working effects. And like Ryan was saying, a while ago about everyone's has that one small detail that's their favorite detail, it translates to, into the attractions as well. Like everyone has like some favorite effect of a ride. And just because like it didn't work on the ride through video that we saw, doesn't mean that it like never worked and that it was, an effect that never existed.
Yeah.
So the goal is to kind of, I don't know, find the balance between those two areas.
I do appreciate that you guys have faithfully recreated the Ghostbusters firehouse that is spitting out part of Rip Roaring Rocket. Oh, speaking of which, there goes somebody right there. Oh. I'm blasting through. Yeah, so those of you who don't know, like this, so the original, when the park opened, there was a Ghostbusters show, like a stage show, and this building here was the Ghostbusters firehouse. And so when Twister came into play, it was still here, but then as Twister existed, they built Rip Roaring Rocket, which is this roller coaster, and they had to knock out a big chunk of the middle for the track to go through. But you're literally going through the Ghostbusters firehouse right here. And so I think there were some Easter eggs, I think, during the Twister attraction, or like in the queue, you could see something about Ghostbusters or something, maybe. But I don't know about now. So
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. So this went from really great to not bad to terrible, this whole area. So
Yeah. So, you mentioned earlier seeing the people zip by on Rip Ride Rocket. That's one of my favorite things about MCParks having so many more guests these days is just ambiently walking around and seeing people, on the teacups or on the carousel or on the people mover, and just walking through and seeing people, zip by on a kinetic, ride like that. It's real neat, and it really makes the parks feel way more lived in. Speaking
of which, here, and yeah, I'll show how the currency works. So here we are. I'm jumping on Rip Roaring Rocket right now.
Rip Ride Rocket.
Rip Ride
Rocket.
All the R's, triple R.
Yes,
and so, my cat is. That was a music thing. I thought it was my cat. Oh, I didn't get to pick the track. That's okay. So so I'll ride this, and you'll see I'll actually get points at the end of it. I'll get park points, which you can then use to spend on buying ears or maps or shirts or whatever you want to do. So,
and does the amount of people you ride with affect that at all?
It does. So we wanted to, one of the coolest like wow moments on the server is being able to experience it with friends, right? And we want people to experience the attraction with their friends and get all their mismatched costumes together and freak out about how they're like some mismatched character or whatever. And so
interesting.
And so what we do is when you ride a ride with other people in your ride vehicle, you get what we call a group ride bonus. And so you'll get more park points the more people are in your ride vehicle.
I'm doing a flip.
And similarly, if you have your audio server open, you will also get a little bonus for having that enabled.
Do I get a bonus for 30 people listening to my audio server?
You'll just get the bonus once.
Oh, there's no way to game it. I see how it is.
Yes. You're going to be like, hey, the amount of park points you can have is limited by how much RAM you have on your computer, so you can open up more Chrome tabs.
Just eat up all of it.
Yes.
So you were talking about earlier about the defunct land idea. Have you reached out to other big YouTubers like Defunct Land and who else? Like Disney Food Blog and other big park bloggers and YouTubers who go over like the minutia of the parks to do any fun things with them as well?
Projects like that. We're friendly with a few of the Orlando local bloggers.
Mm-hmm.
We premiered Happily Ever After. I was working on this. This doesn't paint anyone involved in a good light, but it's a fun story to tell. So when we were working on Happily Ever After, we were really trying to hype it up. If you've seen the show, it was extremely innovative at the time, and for a year and a half ago, it holds up really well. But it was the jump from Wishes, which was just fireworks and like color changing castles, to something that has animations, talking castles, lasers, projections, the whole works. So we were really trying to hype it up. And so we were working on this giant, essentially like a press junket for the show. And we'd reached out to a bunch of people and we got a bunch of non-responses. But then I kind of pivoted what I want our branding strategy to be, which was oh, hey, let me contact a bunch of influencers and people, just be like, hey, can you just record this one line of dialogue, and I'm just gonna piece together a giant like press video essentially. Like it was this giant like scripted thing, and I was just asking people for like a line of dialogue to be recorded on like your phone, like minimal effort, and only like 2 people got back to me, and it kind of gave me the realization that like what we do is very popular within the community that understands what we do, but outside of that, like no one gets it. And like, you know, you see everything and it looks really cool, but unless you're what we're looking for, or, you know, like the target audience for this, outside of, oh wow, that's really cool, they have a lot of time and dedication to the project, it kind of like falls on deaf ears a little bit.
Yeah,
I do think that the current state of the world and how there's been more virtual X and virtual Y, I do think that that's changing a little bit. And I think more people are in a position to sort of understand and appreciate a virtual theme park when that's the only way you can experience said theme park, which is, you know,
the safest way to, at least.
Yes. And that's definitely something. And so we'll see how that perspective changes as we go onwards. I will say, I don't know how much this is a function of the Achievement Hunter and Let's Play and Rooster Teeth fan base just being overall more wholesome than some other YouTuber communities, but the group of fans that we've had join from the Achievement Hunter video have been some of the most supportive and most constructive and most wholesome groups of fans from other YouTubers that we've had visit us, who shall remain nameless.
Well, that makes me happy.
Twitter.
Okay, there you go. You went there, I didn't.
Real quick though, I want to point out. So we rode Rip Ride and Rocket. Let me scroll back and see if I can find it. But yeah, I got like 21 park points. There it is. So I received 21 park points for Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket, plus 2 for riding with another player, plus 2 for having your audio server open. So I got 25. So that's how you get your currency, and so you can buy all your fun stuff like Dole Whip floats. Nom 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 nom.
Jack, I hope that you've noticed that since the last time you did a stream on Universal, there is significantly more Universal merch. And it is directly because you said in the stream, oh, I wish there was more Universal merch.
That's awesome. I totally have noticed that. There's like Harry Potter stuff now and a bunch of other things.
Yeah, and there's like Shrek ears and stuff.
Yeah.
I noticed you had some Marvel Magic Bands in the Universal area.
Speaking of models that Jack has asked for, I'm getting word from the resource pack artist that the funnel cake is almost done and is being textured now.
Oh, so, Jesus Christ.
Funnel cake incoming.
That's awesome. Also, yeah, look at this poor Transformers exit, the gift shop, nothing in it. You can put so many robots in here. Actually, it's funny.
I could fit Slap's roof of Transformers gift shop. Maybe can fit so many robots in it.
I remember, I think Katie and I were here on our honeymoon, taking a break, standing on this little like nice area by the Transformers ride overlooking the water, and 2 guys walked up wearing Achievement Hunter shirts. Like, oh my god, big fans. Like, wow, that's pretty cool. So that's one of my favorite things. Is like, because like there's certainly different areas where it's like, if I'm gonna get recognized, it's more likely in a theme park or, you know, at a GameStop, something like that. And I love when people spot me at theme parks. And I will say, my parents, they like, if they see people wearing Achievement Hunter merchandise out in the real world, they will be like, do you know Jack? Jack is our son. And like, they will be like, they love it. Like my mom is taking photos with random people at theme parks, because like she'll take my nephews to theme parks all the time. And so she'll be like, yeah, we met these guys. They were wearing an Achievement Hunter shirt, and I took a photo with them. I'm like, okay, Mom, that's kind of weird, but I love you. And so,
I saw you at Disney Springs back in 2016, and it was like you were entering Orange Garage, and I was exiting. And I had like tagged you on Twitter, and I was like, hey, do you happen to be at Disney Springs right now? And you were like, yeah. And I was like, cool. I didn't want to come up to you and say hi because I was afraid it wasn't actually going to be you. But, hi, it was great seeing you.
Nice.
And that was when I haphazardly met you in 2016.
Well, there you go. Yeah, that's the thing too. It's like if you're listening right now, if you're watching the stream or whatever, if you do spot me in real life, don't be afraid to come up. I mean, it's like, I know it's sometimes it can be nerve wracking to be like, oh my god, I'm meeting someone, but it's like, I'm not gonna bite you, I promise. Like, even on my worst days, like, I'm not gonna bite you. So come say hi.
The same thing happens to me at work. You know, obviously, like working in the Disney parks, you know, this is like the target audience of people that would be at a Disney park. Every now and again, I'll like see a picture on Discord someone took of me, but from like 15, 20 feet away. And they're like, oh, I saw Darren today. And then I just see like a picture of like my back, and I'm like, yeah, but did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Similarly, like, look, whenever I'm going to theme parks these days, I'm wearing an MCParks shirt and I'm wearing a Spaceship Earth mask. If you see me, I'm based in Orlando right now. If you see me in a theme park, please say hi.
There you go. Now, okay. So you guys have worked in the parks. So what's your biggest celebrity you've spotted in the parks?
Oh, Darren has loads of stories. Darren, tell all your celebrity
Oh yeah, you
stories.
did. You worked Rise, so I imagine you get everybody right now, huh?
Yeah, my stories date back 4 years. So recently at Rise, I had George Lucas.
What?
I remember I was in the load area, and they just kept saying there's like a very important VIP coming through, and then we had like a couple like empty loads, and I was like, oh, it's obviously John Cena because we can't see him.
Uh-oh.
John Cena, and I was like, so they're denying it's John Cena, so it's most definitely John Cena. It ended up being George Lucas that came through, and I don't know, just in like the chaos of trying to load him, it took me like a hot second to realize who he was. But that was pretty cool. When I was at Test Track, there was one day I was coming into
story.
Yes, the hot dog story. So I was coming into work, and they were filming a music video for, I guess it was Kelly Clarkson or Avril Lavigne. I don't know the difference between the two. They're mostly the same person in my mind. But so they're filming something over there. So behind Test Track in the giant loop area, they have kind of like this craft service area set up for her and her team. And so I'm coming into work, I'm walking in, and I see this girl like standing next to like this grill, like just grilling hot dogs and stuff. And so I was like, hey, can I have one? And she's like, oh, I think it's for like the cast only. And I was like, well, I'm a cast member. I work at Disney World. Can I have one? And she's like, no, like the actual cast. And I was like, yeah, like I'm wearing my costume, like I work here. And she's like, no, like the music video cast. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm not in that. And she was like, okay. And then she just like walked away. And so I went back up with my friends, and they were like, what did you just say to Kelly Clarkson? And I was like, I don't know, but she wouldn't give me a hot dog.
That's awesome. All right,
I still really don't know who it was.
You had to tell Buddy Velastro from Cake Boss that he'd take his fedora off.
Yeah, he wasn't a fan of that. I was like,
Frankie Jonas had to explain his meme status to you because you didn't know who he was.
Yeah, I was sitting there at Smuggler's Run, and Frankie Jonas was there, and they were all riding and whatnot right when the land opened. And I was just like having a side conversation with him. I didn't know who he was. Like, I barely could point out the Jonas Brothers. If you like put them in a room of 5 people, I wouldn't be able to tell you who the 3 of them were. And so like I'm being told that there's now like this 4th Jonas brother who I need to be aware of. And so I'm talking with him, and I was like, oh, so are you like the drummer or something? And he's like, no. And then he said like the bonus Jonas or whatever. And so I was really confused, and I was just like, okay, so like what do you do? And he's like, I just kind of like am there. And I was like, all right. And then I went around all day calling him Frank Jonas, and everyone kept correcting me saying it was Frankie.
Nice. So
they always throw me with the celebrities because I'm extremely oblivious to it, and I don't really know people. So
yeah, when I was there, I like at that time, Great Movie Ride was super duper old, so it wasn't a huge, super hot attraction. So I had Blair from The Facts of Life. That was exciting for me.
There you go.
And then I had a number of like basketball players that I didn't recognize, but it'd be like, here's a guy who's like 6'9" with an entourage of like 20 people, and I'm like, all right, that guy's probably the important one. And I do my shows.
Talk about basketball players. So obviously the NBA bubble has been happening.
Oh yeah.
And so they call it the bubble. That being said, they have shuttles for the players to go and play on the golf courses and stuff like that, right? And there's regular guests on the golf courses too. And like all you need to do to go and play at the golf course is you stop at the little thing and they take your temperature before you walk in. To the point where I was there and I was playing because I've been getting back into golf, and I was in my golf cart and I was going over to the first tee, and these 2 very tall men in a golf cart, not wearing golf attire and wearing NBA jerseys with an NBA press pass on their thing, almost ran into me.
Nice.
I don't know who they are because I don't know any basketball players' names, but I just think it's interesting that their bubble permits them to just almost run over people in golf carts. So that was all. That's my comment on the NBA bubble.
So someone told me to push a button over by the Muppet Theater to change the Pizza Rat thing, and I think I broke it.
Uh-oh.
It's gone now. Oh God, I broke the pizza rat.
I think Walt Disney World's just.
Oh, I broke the server.
Yep. As you'll notice, Walt Disney World is the server that always has the problems.
Yeah. Oh, there it goes.
Yep. There you go.
Let's click back in.
Staying on the celebrity thing, though, Jack, have you noticed? You're on here a lot. Have you noticed like a lot of fans just log on to hang out with you as well? And just trying to have some like quality time with you on the server.
I mean, sometimes, yeah, but I mean, like for the most part, I'm not. I don't typically like if I'm gonna go, I'll set myself up like. I have the ability to fly, so I usually for fireworks I'll just I'll levitate off the ground just enough because people will just get in my face and it's like stand there. It's like, yes, I see you. I'm trying to watch the fireworks, so I usually just kind of do that and just kind of let it sit and then do other stuff while that's going on. But I will notice if I'm like on a server, if I'm usually in front of the castle waiting for the fireworks and I'm not paying attention, people will push my body until they can get me onto the little cart that goes around. So they will shove me onto rides. I've also gone on like the people mover and I just kind of like leave myself there and then I'll leave to go do something in real life and then my body's just standing there and people will shove me around to the start of the ride and launch it again with me on it. So it's like Weekend at Bernie's style, like dragging my body around to make me do things.
It's funny that you say that because a lot of people will tag us on Twitter, like a screenshot of them with you, and they're like, "Oh, I met Jack," and like judging by like how you're positioned and just like staring off into space, I'm like, "Yeah, he's definitely like AFK."
Yeah. So it's pretty funny. Okay, the people are saying they see particles. Oh, there's this stuff here. These particles. Oh, there it goes. I'm gone. Man,
it looks like the server is still on, so I think we're good. I think if you rejoin, it should be fine.
So what's the goal? So you're saying you have a bottleneck right now with network stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, is the goal to get it where like you can have 400 people on the server at one time and not have to worry about it? I mean, like what is your capacity?
Yeah. So what we generally learn is that when there's too many people on one of our individual park servers, like Walt Disney World, for example, that's when we start to sort of run into problems. And what we're kind of looking to do right now is, like I said, to get a way so we can have multiple instances of the Walt Disney World server running. So that way you can do, like Warp MK or something like that. And instead of just sending you to the entrance to Magic Kingdom on the Walt Disney World server, it'll do some neat little load balancey things to determine, should I send you to, the first instance of Walt Disney World, or maybe you should go to the secondary instance. Now, the reason why it's not just an easy thing is because we're thinking about the user experience of, for example, group rides and meet and greets are two things that are really integral to the MCParks experience, right?
Yeah.
And what does that mean when you have to do things that are like across multiple servers? And so we're figuring that out. And we're figuring out what good, like, for example, one moonshot idea that we thought of was, what if we had like ghost versions of players who are on other instances of the parks, but like they show up in your world too?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's something that like a lot of like quote unquote multiplayer big world games do these days. Like I think No Man's Sky did it that way. I think what are those?
Forza does that a lot.
Yeah, Forza, the Ubisoft racing like America game, The Crew.
The Crew,
that. Yeah. Like so that might be a solution, but not to get too far into the technical Ryan software development weeds, but that's what we're hanging out. That's what we're doing.
Man.
Yeah. I can obviously talk software design and all that all day long.
Well, should we go take a peek over at Rise of the Resistance or over
Let's
at Black Spire Outpost and see what you guys are working on and kind of show, how the building process happens. Those of you watching right now, so you have to be an upper tier member of the server in order to get to this area while it's under construction. But yeah, we can sneak back here. I'll like right here we found the edge of the world. Oh, there it goes. Okay, popped in. I do like that you've labeled disposals as well. That makes me so happy. It's like, here's your waste baskets.
Actually,
go ahead, Darren.
If you right-click the disposals, you can actually like throw things away.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Really? Let's see here. What can I throw away? What do I have a lot of? I'll throw away a candy apple. Let's see here.
So there's that myth that I don't think it's actually a myth. I think we proved it that a trash can is 30 feet away at wherever you are in the park. Did you make that hold true here as well?
Yeah, so we try to.
I forget what the number is, but
Yeah, I forget too. But we try to put we put our trash cans in all of the same locations that they are in real life. So something that we kind of strive for. I forget what the measurement is though, but it's some number of feet. There you go. Finally on Walt Disney World.
Okay.
And what about some of these shows, like the shorts areas that they have, where there's like just Mickey shorts playing all the time? Are there any plans to shoehorn in something there that won't get you struck with a copyright strike, but something that would be close to that experience too?
Yeah, we definitely, we try to. Our eventual goal is any experience that you can have in the real park, we want you to be able to have it here as well. And so that's kind of what that's what we want to aim for. As far as how we're going to do different things, that is very, dependent on, the experience itself and what we think is best. And we're always kind of developing ideas. And for the ambient stuff, we kind of have some ideas of how we would do it. But, just again, what we choose to work on is a marriage of what we think the guest demand is and just what our cast members want to work on. And unfortunately, sometimes some of those ambient things kind of fall, the low marks on both of those axes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so welcome to Black Spire. Welcome to Batuu. We're sort of in the Resistance outpost area of the land right now.
I like your X-wing over here needs a little bit of work.
This is the A-wing, actually.
Oh, sorry, the A-wing needs a little bit of work.
The X-wing is this big blue line over here.
Oh, okay.
Big difference.
I got him very confused. My bad.
The reason why they're just the wool lines because these are going to be modeled because we're going to use them in Rise of the Resistance. So, spoiler alert: there are X-wings and A-wings in Rise of the Resistance.
Shocker.
Yep. But so they're models, and they're going to be models that just aren't complete quite yet. We used to have the gonk droids hanging out over here because they're gone for now. But we can walk into town over here, and we kind of get into the main marketplace area.
Oh, this is so cool. I love all the cables.
One thing I love to see over here is this is a drinking fountain, but I forget the name of the creature, but it's the little slug monster thing that's in the garbage compactor in the Death Star.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So when you're drinking from the water fountain, there's this big tank of water, and that little monster kind of pokes its head out of the water. So the implication is that you're drinking from the water that it's in. Nice. So that's a neat little effect there that we're definitely going to have. These are bathrooms. Over here is a little stall where you can get a Kowakian monkey lizard. Those are the little things that was in Jabba's palace. Salacious Crumb is one of them.
Darren is another one of your cousins over here, I guess.
Darren's got a lot of them. I like this guy.
We shouldn't be showing.
Knitted Combs here is hanging out with dual pirate hooks. I think it's a bold look.
Nice.
So one of the big parts about this area is on the Disney Experience app, there's a whole minigame part of that.
Yeah.
Are you also trying to add that to this as well, where you're trying to get resources? Okay.
Yes, the data pad will be an opening day experience in Galaxy's Edge.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Down here is all of the little shops that you can buy a bunch of items, and of course we're going to have all of those items available. This is Ronto Roasters, Ronto wraps. Highly recommend. They're very delicious. And kind of this droid here turns this rotisserie that's in front of a pod racing engine. That's what this big blue thing is right here. So there you go.
I just want my thermal detonator Coca-Colas. That's all I want. Just give me that.
We have those.
Yes. We do have those made.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't have an easy way just to grab one for myself, but they exist.
Nice.
There is a YouTube video that people can go and check out on our YouTube channel where we actually recreated shot for shot the announcement. It was from Star Wars. It was from Star Wars Celebration last year, and we recreated the announcement when they showed off the thermal detonator shot for shot. So you can go on our YouTube channel and check that one out.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I will say you got to make sure to sneak the Ark of the Covenant in here. So.
Yeah.
Because
out here is Anubis's foot from Great Movie Ride.
Oh, where's it at? Oh, really?
It's out here. Yeah, it's one of these things.
Yeah, it's under the tarp over here.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I actually didn't know about that. I haven't been to the Orlando version of Batu yet. I've only been to
the other one. The other one's in Disneyland.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
It's Disney.
Huh.
I just picked up the thermal detonator, Coca-Cola.
There you go. There's one. He's got one.
Oh, look at that.
Cool. It is a diamond hoe.
Well, yes.
Yeah, in theory.
Yeah, the shop item hasn't quite been made yet. But
Jack,
Sure, I'll take a look at it.
So Jack, whenever you go to Disneyland or Walt Disney World, you can know that there's a little piece of Great Movie Ride outside of Doc on Darks.
That makes me happy.
Yes. And Disney loves doing that kind of stuff, giving homages to things that have come before and all of their newer stuff. Like in Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh in Magic Kingdom, you can see there's a poster or painting on the wall in Owl's house of Mr. Toad giving the deed over because Mr. Toad's Wild Ride used to be there.
You can see just, the rabbits behind him with a gun, like you hand that thing over. And here's
there's also the Yeti in the Guardians ride at California Adventure too.
Yes. Tank from Disneyland.
But there's a Yeti there?
Yeah, they have a Yeti hiding somewhere in the Guardians ride.
Oh, that's funny. Are there any Tower of Terror allusions to in the Guardians ride in California?
I think so. I'm not sure. Oh, I'm being given a bunch of things by this vanished cast member. I have a Diet Coke here, Jack.
The gray ones.
Yes. And the text is in Arabesh. And there's actually going to be a bunch of Arabesh around the land as well. And one of the features of the data pad is going to be able to translate that Arabesh that you find around the land.
That's cool. The Dasani water bottles.
Yep.
Yeah, this is cool. This Millennium Falcon looks great too.
Yeah.
It's so impressive to see in real life, man. It's so cool. Are you guys gonna have the blue and purple milk or whatever, or blue and pink milk?
We have that too. I'm not sure if it's currently in the resource pack yet.
Yes, you can see the launch bay at the little photo op at the little cantina inside launch bay.
Uh-oh, guys. First orders crashed the party.
Oh no.
My friend.
Get the lightsabers.
Here, Darren, pose in the middle of them. Darren's their officer.
Nice. They've got purple arms for me, so it's a bit awkward, but that's okay.
Ah, right, yes.
I have a question for you. Do you like Wendy's?
I mean, I like Wendy, sure.
Do you like when the stormtroopers open fire?
Well done.
There you go. It's just a little bit of what you can see from Darren if you go ride Rise of the Resistance at Disney's Hollywood Studios.
Oh, Kylo Ren helmet. Stormtrooper helmet. Okay, so you can dress up like a stormtrooper.
Where you have the foresight to be like, oh, hey, we should not throw stuff on every single shelf and leave spaces for actual items to be sold.
Oh, nice. I've got my milk. I've got the blue and green milk.
Oh, perfect.
There you go.
Sweet. Yeah, I've shopped here at this little shop before. It's cool. Do you have the cantina with Rex?
Yes.
Yeah,
Rex isn't in there yet.
All right, being sent the funnel cake image. I'll post that into our group.
Nice.
What is your favorite drink here, Jack? Do you have a go-to whenever you go to the cantina?
I've only been to the cantina one time, and I got the Ewok rum or whatever, the rum or yum rum, whatever it's called.
Yes.
Or yub nub, I forget what it's called, but I got it. I got it in the actual tiki mug. For a hot second, I was like, I'm gonna start collecting tiki mugs, and then I got like 6, and I'm like, I have too many tiki mugs. So yeah, so there's where Rex goes.
Did you get the fuzzy tauntaun?
No, I don't think so.
You would know if you had it. It's the one that makes your lips tingle and stuff.
It's the one that is what?
It makes your lips tingle.
Ooh.
It has Pop Rocks in it, doesn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Nice. No, I have not done that.
My girlfriend likes the Best Pin Fizz. That's because it has the the dry ice in it.
Nice.
That's what makes the big fizz. All right, Jack, look in the group chat that we're currently in, and you'll see a little surprise.
All right. Oh my gosh, it's a funnel cake. That's fantastic.
Here, I'll post a picture and a link to the picture. And assuming that will your stream chat let me post the link or no?
Nightbot might yell at you a little bit. I'm not sure.
Right,
I can do
see
it.
if it works. Nope, I was timed out for 5 seconds.
Hang on. Was it just? Hang on. Is it just this link in our chat?
Yeah, you could just copy the link and it'll work.
Oh, hang on. That one. Okay, yeah. Okay, here you go. So here you go, guys. Here's the new. That's the new funnel cake that's being added. All because I yelled. That's how it works. All you got to do is just yell at people, and then they'll make stuff happen. That's the lesson you should learn.
Yep.
Is that if you just complain enough, you can get yourself a funnel cake.
I mean, you joke, but remember when I mentioned that guest demand is one of the axes for what we choose to do at our weekly meetings. Sometimes if people ask the same question over and over again, we decide to finally do it.
Nice.
So, you know.
Oh, this looks so cool.
I miss it. I miss going here in real life.
Yeah.
Well, you talked about that briefly. Like we both got not fast pass, but annual passes just before all this went down.
Yeah, I bought my first ever annual pass for Walt Disney World in January of this year. So I went in January with me and Katie and a couple of our friends, and the idea was I was going to go. I literally had, I think, 4 other trips planned to go to Disney before August, and every single one of them has been canceled. And so, but yeah, so I mean, Disney did give us 4 extra months. I've heard rumors. I also, not only that, I bought a Universal annual pass too. I've heard a rumor that if you call Universal, they'll suspend your account for like 6 months. If you're like, I'm not going to go, like, I'll tell you right now, I'm not going to go for 6 months. They can literally just be like, all right, well, we're just going to take your account offline for 6 months, and then you won't be able to use it until after that. So I'm like, I just need to call them. I need to take the time to actually call and see if I can make that happen. And I would love if Disney did that, but Disney's big enough that I'm sure they could be like, nope, you're good. So
yeah.
Well, they even cut off refunds a couple weeks ago too.
Yeah,
oh, did they?
They gave a date by which you had to like choose to either take the extension of the pass or take a refund, and that was a couple weeks ago.
Well, there you go.
Yep.
But anyway,
I will say this: I have felt the safest inside a Disney theme park out of any other place in public that I've been. Now, I understand that most of that's in my head. I get that. I get it. But as far as where I feel the safest, a Disney park is most certainly up there on the list. It's definitely higher than like, going to the grocery store for sure.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, I found a bunch of droids.
It
just says bunch of droids.
A bunch of droids, yes. Again, models that are not yet implemented. But that's worth mentioning that, so here's the opening slate of experiences for our Galaxy's Edge. We're going to have
Water Droid.
Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. That's going to be open on opening day. The data pad, like I mentioned, is going to be there on opening day. You'll be able to hack things around the land. We'll have the Outpost Control little mini game where you'll have to choose allegiance to the First Order or Resistance and hack little doors. It's almost like Ingress, the game on your phone.
Yeah.
But just local to Galaxy's Edge. That'll be there on opening day. Savi's Workshop will be available on opening day, where you'll be able to craft your own lightsaber. Yeah. You'll be able to make a lightsaber that approximates the one that you built in real life, if you built one in real life.
The total number of combinations we had for that, it was like 1,024 or something like that.
It's something like that. It's more than that when you factor in the different colors that you can make it and everything like that. But we're gonna have, it's gonna be close to the number of possibilities there are in real life, which is neat. And also Droid Depot, so you'll be able to build your own astromech droid. And we're planning on those astromech droids to follow you around Black Spire Outpost.
Nice.
So,
That's pretty cool.
Yep, and that one you will be able to make all of the same customization choices as you can in real life.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, with the lightsabers, are you going to be able to buy crystals?
Yeah. We'll definitely have it so you can buy crystals and switch out the color if you want. The crystals
And have
are
the rare black crystal.
Yes, we will have the black crystal as one of the random red ones you can get. I saw someone get that last week actually.
Wow.
I saw someone get the black one because now you don't get to like pick; they just like take one out of the chest and give it to you. And he got the black one, so that was neat. I forget what the chances are, but
now do they have like? Is there a special like pot like good side one is like yellow super rare or something, or is it?
No, there's not. It's just the black's the only special one.
That's interesting. You think they would have like one for each? I'm writing Slinky Dog, by the way.
Awesome. Bienvenido,
Right
Slinky Dog Dash.
Whee!
That's a fun ride, Slinky.
Yeah, it is.
I've actually never ridden it. It's always like a 2-hour long ride or 2-hour long wait for me. So I'm like, whatever.
I hope that physical distancing in queues sticks around for a very long while because it just makes waiting in lines so much more like nice. Like I don't mind waiting for an hour for a ride if it means that I get a nice 12-foot buffer to myself.
I'm curious how like all of this COVID stuff is going to carry over to like, once the world quote unquote returns back to normal, like how like the effects and everything that's going on, like will that kind of stuff happen and will it carry over, like virtual queues and all of that stuff?
Well, there's rumor that they're finally be getting rid of Fast Pass Plus at Disney World.
Yeah, so it's gone. Pass. It's gone right now. We'll see what that turns into the future.
I hope they bring over Max Pass. I like that way more than the Fast Pass system.
So much better.
Yeah, I love Max Pass. It's great.
And for those that don't know, Fast Pass Plus is you pick. There's different tiered rides. You pick one tier 1, then a couple tier 2s or tier 3s. This is only at Disney World. And you can only pick a certain amount per day, and then once you use up all 3 of those, you can go pick another one. While Max Pass, which is at Disneyland, you can only make your reservations when you enter the park.
Nice.
And then you can just pick one, you get another one an hour later, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
And I just like it way better only because you only get it once you're in the park. So if you're there at first thing, you have a much better shot at getting the rides that you want, too.
No, I dig that. I like that. But I'm at the point now where like I've been to the park so many times that I could go to the park and not ride a single ride and be totally fine with it,
100%.
But I know that's unique, and like sometimes people will only be able to go maybe once every like 2 or 3 years. So it's like I get people trying to cram as much stuff as possible. But I mean, I always tell people it's like try to relax and enjoy yourself and just enjoy the atmosphere of these parks because that's the cool thing, is like getting to experience something that's unique and special.
And when you do that, when you decide to do that, like there's so many more little details of these parks and like little things that were designed by real people that you wouldn't notice otherwise. Like go read the text on the second stories of some buildings. Go down a little alleyway that doesn't look like there's anything interesting in it because there might be a fun little detail.
Or go to the art galleries in every part of Epcot.
Yeah. Go to the art galleries. Go read like the fake bulletin boards of fake in-universe and story, little notices and stuff. There's always fun little things to see. And like, if you're just focused on, I want to ride every ride, and you're focusing on going to all the rides in like an efficient, quote unquote way, you're missing out on a lot of the work that the Imagineers have done to make this place so special.
No. Is there any reason why you guys have the Incredibles area sealed off right now? Is that something in work, or is that just
it's sealed off in? Well, it's not sealed off in real life. Is it off in real life right now?
It's just not. It's just dead space. It's not like worth our time. One of the Imagineers just said in our chat. He said because we're lazy.
Let's say because you could go in there and be like, hey, that's where you meet Mr. Incredible, and Mrs. Incredible, and Jack and all them, and Edna Mode.
Yeah.
Get a num cookie.
There you go.
I think right now when we do those meet and greets, we do them over on at Pixar Pier in California Adventure.
Now I
also because when we do our meet and greets, it's sometimes a ploy to get people off of Walt Disney World to improve the network condition.
Now
may or may not have been why there was a Mickey Mouse meet and greet on Disneyland immediately after Happily Ever After when we were trying to ride Test Track.
Now I will say, so right here, so this is kind of the entrance area towards Pixar Land or Toy Story Land. So back here behind the Great Movie, or behind Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, there's like these two little carts, but there's a wall, and right here. So this area right here, it's crazy to me because this is the outdoor break room area for what was the Great Movie Ride. I don't know if it still is or not, but there was a door kind of over where Darren is that you could get to this area, and this is where all the cast members would go take smoke breaks and stuff. And I didn't smoke, but I would hang out with the cool kids, so they'd be out here smoking. And yeah, so I spent a lot of time in little like covered areas out here. And then one time, and this is wild because the staircase does exist. There is a staircase right here because this is part of the inner queue for, yeah, here we go. He's broke into it. So this is the inner queue for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. And what at the time was the Great Movie Ride. There's these doors here with like, they had a little line attached to them, but you could just open them up and just walk outside. Oh God, they're closed. Oh, it's metal. I can't get out anymore. But one time I was outside and I was just sitting there, like, you know, with a friend having a smoke break and like just hanging out with them. And all of a sudden we heard these doors open up and it was like, what? And it was a woman and her child. And the kid just started peeing on the stairs. And we're sitting there, it's like, what are you doing? And she didn't know we were there. And it was just like, no. And then I don't think she spoke English. And it was just like, and she just like pulled up her kid's pants while it was peeing and then ran back inside. And I was like, oh no, that's probably worse. And yeah. And so that was one of the weirdest things that ever happened. I'm now trapped inside the lobby for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. So anyway, that was one of the weirdest things that ever happened to me when I was working on the Great Movie Ride back in the day.
We're being rated by Jacob from Funhouse. Hello.
Oh, hey, Jacob. What's up? Hey, man. Jacob's good people. We built some stuff together the other day.
Oh, yeah? Neat.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay.
There you go. Back outside.
But yeah, so I was literally sitting right here, and then a woman and her kid, like, in I will say the scale's a bit off because this is much higher. Like, it would actually be kind of up here where the actual stairs would go. So it was a lot higher up. So it was kind of like if you walked out of those, you wouldn't realize there's all these people below you. But we were sitting there. It's like, what the hell are you doing? And yeah, that was fun times. So that, and also like this area here, if we ever had a lot of staff and it was slow, if it was Christmas time, at the time we had in this building right here, which looks like it's now been kind of reconverted, but this was a soundstage, this building over here, and they had the some of the set pieces from Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Oh, I remember that.
And
oh yeah.
And so people would go in there, and then there was a big old like Christmas tree or something, or a picture or something, and so we'd come out here and take photos for people. Like we used to go do guest stuff, so we just go take photos for people. And my favorite thing was every time someone would hand me a camera and be like, it's this button right here. I'm like, oh, it's this button on the right side at the top, like every single camera ever invented ever. Got it. Thank you. I didn't actually say that, but
I'm glad we've progressed past that as a society, and now everyone uses their phones.
Yeah, yeah. But that was, yeah. The problem, I mean, it would be awesome now because you use your phone, you just snap off like 30 shots and be like, there you go. I probably got a good one in there. Whereas before, it'd be like, you take one and be like, ooh, can you do it again? Like, all right. But yeah, but this whole area is. Oh, sorry.
That building was right where you're standing right now. It was kind of in this area.
Yeah,
like, the entrance area to Toy Story Land.
I say it feels like it's been cut in half, and it makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. It had the little like the little I don't know, like sky bridge thing that was up above. And the
because this area right here, which is now the Pixar Mania, this was an actual soundstage. It was actually a production soundstage. And they shot some TV shows and some award shows in there. And then eventually they turned half of it into Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And so they had a recreation of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And they actually would shoot down here. So like Regis would come down and they'd shoot in Orlando. And but when they weren't shooting, they would actually do like they would have live shows where just the audience was filled full of like, you know, guests from the park. And the crazy thing was when I came down for my college program, I was starting like on January 6th or something. And so my dad and I drove out to Florida, got there a few days early, and then we went to Hollywood Studios because I was like, oh, I'm going to go see where I'm going to go work, you know. And so we went there, and I was like, oh, let's go to the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And it popped up with Fastest Fingers, and I won it. And so I got to sit and I got to play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And they were like, are you a cast member? I'm like, not today. So I'm like, it's starting tomorrow. And they're like, that works for us. And I made it to the $32,000 question. I got it wrong, which broke my heart.
Do you remember what the question was?
It was something like if you not masticate. It was some weird word. It's like if you do this to an item, what are you doing to it? And it was like chew it, beat it, like cut it, like slice it. And I was like, I don't know what that was, and so I took a guess and got it wrong. But yeah, it was pretty sad. But it was cool. Like, I mean, it was like a full blown production. I'm like, oh my god, this is where they do the thing, and so it was pretty fun.
I was like super into game shows as a kid. So I was so enthused about Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, play it. And I couldn't wait until I think it'd be 18 to be on it or whatever it was. And so, silly little me thought that it was going to
to live forever.
Thought it was going to stay around until then. Yeah. But then of course the show stopped airing.
Yeah.
And then they got rid of the thing at
I will say
Hollywood
too,
Studios as well.
I will say, so they had this, and then next to it over here at the far end, this is where they had Mickey in his Sorcerer Mickey outfit, and you could go take a photo with him, and it was like the coolest Mickey outfit that existed, and no one was ever in there. Like literally, you could walk up and go meet Mickey after like maybe waiting 5 minutes, and it was just like, I don't know why people never saw that, but anyway. But I love, that was my favorite Mickey, and now he's still in the Sorcerer Mickey outfit somewhere in the park. I don't know where it is now. I also noticed your spotlights just kicked on for the theater. That's really cool.
It's so cool.
Yeah, the Mickey meet and greet with the Sorcerer's outfit is now over. I don't know what the building is called, but it's across from ABC Commissary.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, Olaf's over there too for some reason.
It's where the audition part of American Idol experience used to be.
Yes, that's what it was.
Ah, okay. Yeah, this used to be where Mike and Sully were over here. So they had a Monsters Inc. meet and greet. They had like a garage because Sully was so big and his arms wouldn't move. So he would just kind of step forward a couple steps, and he had like whoever is friends with Mike and Sully, they had issues with his arms not being able to really bend. Like he had no elbow or no wrists. So it's just this giant arm would be like, hello. And it's like, oh, that's freaky.
That's when they did the stamps for like the Incredibles and for Mike and Sully and for all the characters that couldn't like write.
Yeah.
Most of them can write now.
Nice.
Here, I just found a copy of the old Sorcerer's hat. If you want, I can show you guys.
Oh yeah, let's go. Let's go check it out.
The old Sorcerer's hat? What?
Yeah, we have a Sorcerer Mickey hat from Hollywood Studios. Like the big hat in the middle of the park.
Oh god, a monstrosity. Oh, I hated this thing. I hated this thing so much.
Did you hate that worse or the 2000 on the
Oh god, they were both garbage.
They were both garbage.
Oh my god, it just popped up. What?
Yeah, so what you're looking at right here. So there was a giant Sorcerer Mickey hat that sat right in front of the beautiful Chinese theater, and as they put this big abomination of this structure in the middle of it, and I guess the idea was, from what I understand, the initial idea was to build an enormous Mickey Sorcerer's hat that was going to be at the time Disney Springs, or no, Downtown Disney, and the ears were going to be Ferris wheels. And so that's what it was going to be. And then the money kind of fell apart. I think it was around I don't know, I guess it was around 9/11 when really kind of theme parks sort of fell to crap, and as tourism in general was not good. And so they scaled it way back down, so they just made this big hat. And they're like, this will be the icon for the park. And like they had the beautiful Chinese theater, and they had the Earful Towers, and they went with this ugly ass giant like blue plastic hat. And it was just like, oh, why? And it lived there for about 10 years or so before they finally dismantled it.
Disney didn't make a lot of great decisions back then.
Yeah.
Like the birthday cake castle.
Yeah.
Oh boy, yeah.
I will say one cool thing that happened around this is back in like 2001, they did the I think it was the 100 Years of Magic events, where they had these pins that were light reactive to different locations in the park. So like on the Great Movie Ride, when you went through it, and at one point you encounter Sorcerer Mickey, like there was a Fantasia section, the pins would light up and react to what he was doing. So they would be like blue and yellow, and they start flashing like crazy. And then like when he got to like like Wizard of Oz, they would change different colors. And then for like some of the nighttime shows, they would react to that. And yeah, that was a cool idea, and they never really did anything with that, like the sort of like location based reactive stuff.
Well, they did a few other things. They did obviously My Pal Mickey. You remember My Pal Mickey?
I don't know if I did. Wait, no, that was the thing you carried around the park, right?
Yeah, it was a Mickey doll that you carried around, and he gave you like tips about things that were going on.
I heard something similar, but it was a
It was the first like sort of long range RFID tests of things that they did. So those pins were one of them. My Pal Mickey was one of them. Glow with the Show that later became Made with Magic was another one. Those were ears and that you wore, and then when you watched a nighttime show, the ears changed colors and reacted to what was going on in the nighttime show, which is pretty cool.
There was like a precursor to like the My Disney Experience app.
Yeah.
Back in early to mid 2000s, but it was like a handheld video game they could only buy in the parks.
Oh, the PDA.
And it would like be a different game wherever you were.
Yeah.
And you get like a special bonus for doing stuff in those certain areas.
Yes, I remember that. And then, of course, this all culminated in the Magic Bands that have long-range RFID sensors in them, and they now do things like say goodbye to you on It's a Small World, right?
Oh, really?
When you're on this small, when it's on It's a Small World, say like adios, Jack.
Really? I didn't know that.
Aloha, Darren. Yeah.
I do know that they'll take photos of you. So like if you're on Haunted Mansion, there's actually a photo on Haunted Mansion now, which didn't exist before. And it's odd because sometimes like the Magic Band will pick up people next to you. So I've got like photos of some like Hispanic family. Yeah. I'm like on my thing. I'm like, that's weird, but
I mean, I didn't say that they were all successful tests.
But yeah, this is cool. I don't know. So was this actually in your park for a while, and you guys have just removed it?
Yep. And so when we were removing it, we removed it at the same time as they were, just like our Epcot construction and everything. So we were removing it bit by bit, but we kept a copy of it down here. We're actually below Toy Story Mania right now.
Oh, cool.
If you fly all the way up in this room, this is actually where one of the Toy Story Mania tracks is.
Oh,
actually,
cool.
both of them. Here they are. Yeah. So this is the soundstage where Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Play It was.
Huh.
When for Star Wars weekends, this is where Darth Maul was, which was a big gift shop.
Nice.
They did. This is also actually where Magic Bands were tested. This was the testing ground. This soundstage was a testing ground for a lot of the old Magic Band tech when it was 10 years ago now.
Huh. That's cool.
Yeah. There's a Fast Company article. The messy business of reinventing happiness. No, it's a good article, and it kind of goes through how the Magic Band and the My Disney Experience and My Magic Plus was all developed and stuff like that. I recommend it.
Well, I remember it was something like, didn't like Michael Eisner go to like Great Wolf Lodge or something, and they kind of sort of stole the tech from that, because it was like put your hotel key on your wrist and then go to the water park and then like tie a credit card to it, and like it was something along those lines.
That was definitely part of the inspiration for sure.
But anyway, very cool.
Yeah. Yep. Of course, half of the concepts that they wanted to do with My Magic Plus and with Magic Bands have never come to fruition, and now never will for sure.
Yeah. I'm trapped inside this glass case. I just want to leave.
Hold on, we can get you out of here.
That's okay. I'll go over to Tower of Terror.
Yeah, you can go over to Tower of Terror. Why not?
Yeah. I do like that you guys have you allow people to sponsor the attractions as well. And I told you guys I call dibs on the Tron coaster, and if you ever do Great Movie Ride.
Oh yeah, you betcha.
Man, I've been watching some videos of the Tron coaster being built right now. And,
have you seen any videos of the completed one in Shanghai? Have you watched any ride throughs?
I actually have. Kind of spoiled it for myself a little bit, but that's okay.
It's so cool though.
It is cool.
So I was if you were watching earlier tonight, I was talking about like reworking parts of the park and stuff. So we're in Disney's Hollywood Studios right now, and this park is such garbage as far as flow goes, because I mean, I love the park. Don't get me wrong, I love this park. So here's the main entrance over here, and then you walk forward, and then you get to about here, and it splits. So you can go left towards Echo Lake. And like there's some restaurants here, and that's back towards the Star Tours and stuff. But then you have to go all the way back around there to get the Rise of the Resistance. You can go straight and drop right into Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and then go right, and then this is the animation courtyard area, and then back there is the Pixar or Toy Story Land. So that's all back there. I love that you guys have the parking garage. That parking garage has been there forever back there. And then
it was the parking garage for the animation building back when there was a Walt Disney Feature Animation office there.
Yeah. So this right here, all of these buildings over here, and some in the backlot area. There was actually like there was animation happening here. Like I think Emperor's New Groove got made here. Most of it got made here.
Treasure Planet
as
well.
Yep.
So there were a lot of buildings back here, like proper bungalows where they had like production facilities and stuff. So like this is really cool. And actually this whole area was part of the backlot tour and the Lights Motors Action Stunt Show and Catastrophe Canyon. There's a lot of area back here that has been leveled for the Toy Story Land and Rise of Resistance. But anyway, I digress. So anyway, here we are, this animation courtyard. But then over there, this right here, so you walk from the entrance and you cut right. This is Sunset Boulevard. And the only way to get to Tower of Terror, which is the big main attraction on there, and Rock and Roller Coaster over there, is this one street. Only one way in, one way out, and that's it. Mm-hmm. And so I've heard rumors that the animation courtyard area, they're going to level this and basically and connect it to the Rock and Roller Coaster area to make one big circle, which makes sense. There is some weird kind of like, I don't know, at least when I was working there, like this building right here, this sort of rounded edge building, or maybe not that one. Where was it?
Take 5.
Yeah. So I think
still there.
Okay, yeah. So this rounded building right here is actually the employee cafeteria, and so you would come back here. This is where you get your food. So like for us, which also kind of sucked for us because I was at the backlot tour, which is way the hell over there. So we would get on bicycles, which was one of my favorite parts of about working at the Hollywood Studios, is we had bikes and we could literally go backstage, jump on a bicycle, ride a bicycle over to the restaurant, grab some chicken strips, and ride our bicycle back. And it was so much fun. And then when the park would shut down at night, once we got park clear, they would just open the doors and you could literally just ride a bicycle through the theme park. And like,
awesome.
like managers,
like bikes everywhere.
Yeah, managers would yell at you, but you're on a bike, so you just outrun them. And so so we would just ride we would ride bikes around the park, and it was just like so cool. Like the idea of riding a bicycle in a theme park, that was bonkers. But yeah, going up and down Sunset, doing wheeling around here in front of the Great Movie Ride. And also one of my favorite Easter eggs about this whole park, which unfortunately has been kind of broken now, is that it has the world's largest hidden Mickey.
Oh, yeah.
So you can see right here, there's his eye. There's his 2 eyes. Here's a smiley face that kind of goes towards the Great Movie Ride. So if I'm looking at this, and then he had a nose, which has kind of been gone now. And then Echo Lake, which is right there, is one big ear. And then there was another there's another ear right here that Sunset Boulevard wrecked.
Well, I mean, the ear, they used to paint the ear onto the
it was the Brown Derby.
Brown Derby building, yeah. And Playhouse Disney / Disney Junior. That used to be painted to be black to be the other ear, but it hasn't been in a while. Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, it's still, there's remnants of it, and you can, if you get a Hollywood Studios map and flip it upside down, you can still kind of make out where it was. But yeah, it was it was the world's largest hidden Mickey. I remember being a child and a merchandise cast member blowing my mind and showing me that on the map.
But yeah. So anyway, do you remember? So I don't know if you guys, how old you guys are, but do you remember that when the park opened, what was the Bear in the Big Blue House, and now I guess it's like Dance Disney or something.
Yes, I do remember that.
This area over here. Before that, there was a Muppet show in here. They actually had a live action Muppet show with like actual like puppeteers and humans, and the show would end with someone saying like, "Oh, we're going to take the monorail over to Epcot," and they're like, "The monorail doesn't come to this park," and then the nose of the monorail would bust through the wall, and it was Animal driving the monorail.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my god, and it was such a cool show, and like I just vaguely remember going to it because apparently it was only open for like 2 years, right at park open, like 89.
Yeah, shortly after that they started working on a Muppet Vision 3D.
Yeah,
not only Muppet Vision, they tried to make a whole Muppet area for the park, like a whole.
Yeah, there was originally a concept for a Muppet, like a Great Movie Ride parody, but with the Muppets,
which would have been awesome. Like that, the idea of like having the same ride, but just the Muppets take it over and change it into their version. Well, I know, like, so for those who don't know the story, Jim Henson created the Muppets, and it was the mastermind behind the Muppets. He started working with Disney and started doing some really cool stuff. The last thing he worked on before he passed away was the Muppet Vision 3D show, and he was in talks to do crazy amounts of stuff because he was fascinated by animatronics and the way the Muppets work. it's pretty simple to use animatronics to replace puppeteers' hands because it's mouth open, eyes move, and that's pretty much it. And so, and just, moving bodies. And so he had plans to do a lot of really cool stuff with animatronic Muppets. And, but then unfortunately he passed away, untimely death. And then when he passed away, Disney basically said like, well, we wanted Jim Henson. He's not there anymore. So we're going to break all of our deals with the Henson Company. And then they were suing back and forth, blah, blah, blah. Ultimately, Disney ended up buying the Henson Company, Henson Productions. And so now Disney owns rights to all the Muppets. But
I recommend the Defunct Land series on Jim Henson.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Very, very highly recommend.
God, there's so many great memories from back here. Like, so this area here, this used to be like the Crossroads of America with a bunch of different streets and stuff. And now it's all changed because of Rise. But my backlot tour area was over here. Let me see here. Where am I? Let me get my bearings. So the backlot tour used to load about right here in this area, and then all in front of it there was a big outdoor, or like a big open area restaurant, and then next to it was a Honey I Shrunk the Kids playground set, which was like a giant playground for kids, but it was all like Honey I Shrunk the Kids, so like giant ants and big Lego pieces and stuff, and it was so cool to walk around on.
Which everyone assumed would show up again in Toy Story Land, and then it didn't.
Oh wow! But they had like a New York area. And that's where the Ninja Turtles would come out for some reason for a while. Like there was a few years when the Ninja Turtles were at Hollywood Studios. And Darkwing Duck would show up every now and then. And so, anyway, I have a lot of good memories about this park in particular. Hollywood Studios, I spent a lot of time in as a kid. And so with
the resurgence of Muppets, like they had the new Muppet show on Disney Plus, do you see them ever trying to revitalize the Muppets areas in Hollywood Studios? Maybe revisiting the idea of the great movie around with the Muppets spin.
You'll notice when they closed Pizza Planet, they made it Pizza Rizzo, and so there kind of was, as late as the early 2010s, plans to make this. I believe that for a time they were going to call what is now Grand Avenue Muppet Alley, like even like nowadays, and do some more stuff in there. And we got Pizza Rizzo, and that's about where that ended. So I don't know. One thing is. They did give us in Magic Kingdom in Liberty Square, honestly, one of my favorite in-park shows in a long time, which was Great Moments in History, featuring the Muppets, where the Muppets would retell a story of the Declaration of Independence and the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere with normal Muppet hilarity.
Nice.
It was really good, and unfortunately got cut last summer. But that was, a piece of new Muppet thing in the parks. I mean, like, I really think that the Muppets lend themselves really well to the parks. Like, they lend themselves really well to, like, there's their blend of humor and their blend of, physical comedy. It just works really well in these settings.
Like Sam Eagle now having his own restaurant in Epcot.
Yes, which, talk about whether that makes sense all you want, but it's still fun.
Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, like, of all the rides I could see going pretty soon, I could see Muppet Vision 3D unfortunately disappearing pretty soon.
I think it still holds up though. It's still good.
It's good, and it has massive capacity, which is for a park like this is good. Because you can put in 400 people at a time in that theater, probably more than that actually. And then for every 15 minutes you're loading tons of people, so you're pushing a lot of humans through. But it's, man, like, My favorite thing is the end of the ride where they blow out the back wall and you see people like having the Mickey Mouse balloons that are just like the single color, like plastic balloons. It's like, oh God, those haven't existed since like the early 90s.
Everyone looks like they're dressed in the early 90s.
Yeah. So, what is all this back here? Oh, like here's the entrance. Like here's the parking, like this is where you come through and pay for parking.
Used to be. This one doesn't exist anymore.
Oh no! Oh yeah, this is where they're building the hotel.
Yeah, so this is now the entrance to the cast lot still back here.
Yeah, so this is now cast lot, and then a bunch of like further back beyond the gray concrete on the ground is where they're building the hotel.
Ah.
It's pretty much parallel with the back of Galaxy's Edge.
Okay. Now see, for when I was there, cast lot was over by it's over here.
It was a television lot in the front.
Yeah.
Right,
There were 4 lots. It was the one. If you're looking at the front of the park, it was the one at the front on the left, which is right here where I'm at right now, flying over. So yeah, here's the front of the park, and then they're basically 4 lots split up in the main parking area here. So here's the entrance to Hollywood Studios right there, and so this line separates the two. And when I worked there, this lot right here was all cast member parking, and so yeah, which is always fun. And then your main entrance, like the entrance was right here. This was costuming. So you'd come in here, you get your costumes, and then you'd end up on this little backlot area. And so I, every morning, would park my car, walk in, go through security, walk this way, cut to my left, and then, so this is the back of the Indiana Jones stunt show. You walk around over here. If you got lucky, you could catch someone with a golf cart and give you a lift. But yeah, then you would cut right, walk through here, and then you walk through this gate back by Star Tours. And so you walk out of Star Tours, and then I would go this way. And then when I worked at Great Movie Ride, I would go down Commissary Lane, head that way. It was almost always Greatest American Hero, the Believe It or Not, I'm Walking on Air. It was like that song would always be playing in the morning, like because it was the same tracks would play at the same time. So I'd always hear that song as I was walking in. But then when I worked the backlot tour, you'd walk straight through here and then go through the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids area and then end up at the backlot tour over here. And so that was my walk. And so
Jack's commute.
Man, yeah, it was fun because it was always great because you'd see the AT-AT would be spitting water in the mornings. It was like before it'd break down during the day, so it'd be spitting out water and you'd wave to people and stuff, and that was fun. That was like, I'm so happy I got to experience that because like the first time I went, I was 20 years old. I had no responsibility, and I lived with 7 other guys, and like it was a 4-bedroom apartment with 8 of us. And I made some really good friends that I'm still friends with to this day. I gained an appreciation for working in parks and working with large groups of people. Disney really does drive down. If you buy into the Disney culture, Disney does a fantastic job of really teaching you how to give everyone a good experience. And I think that carries over into so many different aspects of just life and especially working. Because to me, like my big thing was one of my managers one day said, you have to realize like you could be having a rough day, but there might be a family of 4 that saved up for 5 years to come to this park for one day. And if you're having a bad day and that spills over to them, you've just ruined 5 years of their life because of your shitty day. And it's like, oh damn, yeah, that makes sense. And you really be like, all right, I'm going to give everyone the best possible experience I can. And so that's why I say, like, if you do go to these parks, really try to enjoy the moment. Try to enjoy it no matter what. Because, like, it's going to rain. It's Florida. It's going to rain no matter what. You're not going to get away from that. It's going to suck. You can either choose to be miserable or you can choose to just roll with it and be like, well, all right, let's make this happen. Like, I had an experience one time when I was working at Great Movie Ride where I was standing at load. So I was, like, right here outside in my little thing. And it was raining. So I was under my cover with my orange little outfit on. And I saw, within 2 minutes of each other, I saw a father dragging a screaming kid past me in the park. Just the kid was wailing, and the dad was literally just dragging this kid who was like just miserable, hated it. That guy passed. Not a minute or two later, it was a father and a son were jumping in puddles together. And I'm like, well, there you go. And it's like, what? Like 2 different ways to handle the situation. And it's like, all right, that guy's got a good life. Like you're approaching this the right way if possible. So
you get to see the whole spectrum of parenting strategies.
Yeah. And so anyway,
and
there's my rant.
Too, like, if you ever want to go to the parks and you're worried about rainy days, go online. There's so many resources about what happens at Disney World on these rainy days, what parades happen, what rides change, how can you make the best day ever during any of these conditions? Because Disney does go above and beyond for any scenario to help make the best experience possible for everybody. Like, they have special parades, like I just mentioned, for rainy days.
Yeah, the rainy day cavalcade. I love the rainy day cavalcade. There's the parade cast members have little raincoats on and rain hats, and they're twirling umbrellas.
Yeah.
That cavalcade is pretty much now how they do all parades now, right? Where it's the socially distanced cavalcade.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Anyway.
They still do the rainy day cavalcade. That still happens.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so all of that being said, what's next for MCParks? What's your next big project? Is it your event you wanna plug one more time?
It's the event that we want to plug one more time. I could tell you some of the fun things, but our wonderful video production and branding department is putting a lot of effort into making a full 90-minute Nintendo Direct style presentation of all of the wonderful things that we're working on. We're calling it the MCParks Expo. It's actually our third biennial expo. It's going to be on September 11th through the 13th. Go to mcparks.us/expo for more information, because it's going to be the place you're going to want to be to learn about our big new projects that are still unannounced.
There you go. So check that out. If you can, go to donate.mcparks.us as well. Donate to these guys. They've got an amazing server. And, I mean, the amount of work that goes into this, again, no one's getting paid on this. And it's all just to keep the servers up and running. So mad props to these guys. Yeah, you'll see me. If you catch me at 10 a.m. Central, Monday through Friday, I'm watching fireworks and I'm riding People Mover. You're welcome to join me. I can't promise I'll actually respond to you in chat or anything, but I'll be there. So, but yeah, that's awesome. Well,
Jack,
dude,
it's been a blast.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Go, do you guys want to ride Tower of Terror?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, that's a good way to end things off, yeah.
Sure. It's going to be interesting with no audio, but sure.
Jack, you can pull up on a phone, too, to listen to stuff. Plug in, like, an extra headphone.
Oh, no, I can get it where I can play it, but I'm going to... It's okay. It's okay. People in chat still have it open, I think. Here, go to that link right there. mcparks.us/audio !user equals Jack_AH, and you can hear what I'm hearing in the park if you want. What ride has the largest capacity? Is it the People Mover?
It's gotta be like Incredicoaster.
It's like 30 people on it.
Wow. All right. Oh.
Are we gonna skip the pre-show so we don't have to?
Yeah, we can skip the pre-show.
Yeah, head through the left pre-show room.
All right. Whee. So pretty. You should watch the pre-show though if you actually ride this thing.
Go through here. You can.
Yay. Okay.
Alrighty. Press.
There we go. Press button.
Let's hope we get in. Let's see. Here, stand over here. Stand over here. Hopefully you get in. Let's see. Oh, it's gonna be. There's no way.
Oh God, let me in. Open. I'm in, Ryan. Oh.
All right, it's opening, and
I'm floating. I don't know if I'm in a seat. I'm in a seat.
I made it. Yay!
See you guys in a bit.
I'm in the back somewhere, wedged in here.
All these people are trying to get a seat. Sorry, guys, it's full.
Nice.
Walk outside. Don't get stuck.
Oh. I think it just left without me.
Darren. Yeah, Darren just removed my card.
Oh no.
That was me that broke that. I'm sorry.
Oh, Darren broke it?
Well, yeah, that was my doing. The other side broke, so I accidentally broke both sides.
Oh God, now it's the real nightmare. We're stuck in a mine shaft. Or stuck in an elevator shaft. Okay, let's warp. Tot.
Wait, no, don't warp. I was going to teleport you back to the load room.
That's okay, I can fly.
That's fair.
The windows are still opening in here too.
Yeah, don't replace the button for this one because obviously the show's going on.
Okay, going to the pre-show. Okay, wow, there's so many people in here. Oh God, where are my friends? Hey, what's up, Ryan?
Hello.
Where are you? Where are you guys? There you are.
Are we resetting it? Is someone resetting it?
I wasn't sure if we trust the reset just because the shows are actively running, or if we should just wait a minute.
I thought the reset was supposed to reset it. That was the point of the reset.
Oh. Oh God, Darren's on the floor. He's trapped.
Well, how about we all go to the Incredicoaster so we can all ride together and it'll be a little bit quicker. How's that sound?
Sure. The DCA?
Right. Everyone do Warp IC.
Warp IC, you got it.
Yep. I think this is a quicker ride, and we can all ride together. So I think that'll be a little bit better to sign off. But everyone should go check out Tower of Terror because it's awesome.
All right, here's Disneyland DCA.
Oh, there's no button here to spawn.
Yeah, I know. We took it out, so
Warp IC twice, yeah.
Yep. There we go.
Uh-oh.
All right, we'll wait for Jack to get here.
Oh God, fly. Oh God. I'm above the thing. Hello. All right, I'm here.
All right, cool. Stand somewhere on the white track for when the vehicle comes in. And
I'm on it.
There we go.
Woo.
Hey, you guys have next to each other. Look at
Hey,
that.
yeah, what's up? Hey, dude. Good times. What's gonna be the next costumes and stuff you guys gonna put on sale in the stores?
Oh boy, might have some fun things for Halloween. Might have some fun things for stuff like Harry Potter, of course. More things. We have an almost full cart. Look at this, going to F5. So many of us.
Yeah.
So many.
Taking some stills for thumbnails.
Yay!
Oh God, I'm all okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm in first person. Oh, geez.
How do you like the first person?
F5.
F5. There we go. Thank you.
There's Loki's up in the front. There's a duck. Darren's wearing a duck hat and he was looking back at me.
Perry the Platypus.
Also, I've seen people walking around with the ducks on their shoulder. How do you pick up a duck?
I think
Those are merchandise items. So we sell ducks in the stores.
Wait, what was that?
They're merchandise items, so you can buy like shoulder ducks.
Oh, I thought like there was an Easter egg where you actually had to find like the duck you could pick up in the park.
that's what I wanted to do, but
Do you have a Pascal as well?
I think the Pascal's in the pack. If it's not in the pack, it's being worked on.
it's definitely being worked on. I'm not sure if it's in the pack yet, though.
Everything's on
Over
fire.
the fire.
Yeah, Jack set the tunnel on fire.
I've been
What?
told Pascal is out and about in the world, so
There you go.
I might go purchase that before I log off.
Jack on a stick.
Yay!
Whee!
There's another ride vehicle going through.
Whoosh. This is actually a really cool coaster too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys excited for the new Spider-Man ride at DCA?
I can't wait to see how they pulled it off.
It'll be interesting. I'm interested. I'm cautiously optimistic for the new Spider-Man ride.
If anyone can do it, it's Disney. But the technology they're saying is going to happen in there just seems way too.
Well,
futuristic.
Legoland has a ride exactly like it right now. Where
Ah.
like you throw ninja stars. It's like a Ninjago ride.
Oh,
That's
Okay.
cool. I will say I have a friend who she worked on it, so I'm curious. So you talk too much crap and she's gonna kill
There
you.
you go. Hey, look, cautiously optimistic. That's what I said.
There you go, man. We're back.
Look at that bonus. We got a 20 park point bonus for riding with 17 other players.
Wow,
Alrighty, well,
not bad at all.
we're ending it off there.
All right, well, Darren and Ryan, thank you so much for the guided tour. I super appreciate it. It's very, very kind of you. And
Guys,
I think
this was so awesome. Thank you again.
everyone
Thanks so much
watching.
for having us.
And so again, if you want to check out the servers, go to main.mcparks.us. In the Java edition of Minecraft, make sure to use 1.12.2. Like, set up yourself a profile that you can do that and watch that. It's going to be really nice. It's going to be a lot easier to do that. You can also download Optifine. But if you go to mcparks.us, the website, they'll explain how you can do it a lot easier. So there you go. And thank you again. And thank you, Mick, nanobiologist, for setting all this stuff up. That's super nice of you.
Of course. I mean, who else to bring on a tour of this than one of the people I've seen just really latch onto and have a great time with it than you, Jack?
I really, really do. Like, I have a lot of love. Oh, this is the Disneyland castle. I warped castle and I went to Disneyland castle instead of the Magic Kingdom.
If you warp www/castle, you'll get back to the Magic Kingdom one. Yep.
I haven't really checked out Disneyland at all. His Matterhorn actually hurt my back on when I rode it. Like, legit hurt. It's a rough one. Anyway.
So, Jack, you mind if I plug some things first before we all go?
Of course. Go for it, man.
So, yeah, I do some Disney streams every other month. This is the one for August. But I have done another one for Disneyland with Tim Geddes from Kind of Funny. That's on the Kind of Funny Games YouTube channel. I also stream regularly at twitch.tv/thenanobiologist. And I have some other things in the works, especially Disney-related stuff.
Ooh.
So please stay tuned to my Twitter at DA Nanobiologist and my Twitch.
There you go.
And thank you again, Jack, for coming along with this. I think just having you along, sharing this experience was the perfect way to spend this Sunday, to be honest.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. I appreciate it. You guys have yourself a lovely rest of your evening. Get some rest, enjoy work, and we'll see you in the park soon, okay?
Awesome. See you around, Jack. It was
All right.
great seeing you.
Later, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Hey, guys.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for me today, everyone. Thank you very, very much. I have so many messages to catch up on. I apologize, but this is a little bit of a different kind of stream. Let me read through the ones here that I need to catch up on. Let's see here. Rainbow Star 93, 17 months as a warden. Thank you very much. Mayan Life, 4 months in a row. Happy to be here. Keep up the great work, Jack. Wilby Meister, 2 months. Thank you, Wilby Meister. Blackbird 91, 19 months. Love you, Jack. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you very much, Blackbird. Cross 737, 8 months. Appreciate you. Barry 710, 4 months. How's it going? Going well, Barry. Wolf 6009, 7 months in a row. Spade Safiro, 30 months. 30 months! Says Spade. Thank you very much. Bobby Fresh Cuts, 8 months in a row. B Som, brand new Prime Warden. Thank you very much, B Som, for that. El Toro Guaco, Hufflepuff forever. Go Badgers. That is correct. That is the right answer right there. BTJ20 sub for 3 months in a row. Thank you, BTJ20. Ham Socks, brand new Warden. Thank you very much, Ham Socks. Through Helen Back. Haha, through Helen back. Thank you for those bits. Hey, Jack, can't really stay. It's almost 3 a.m. here. Just want to pop by, say hi, and drop some bits. Have a great stream. Love from the UK. Thank you very much, through Helen back. That's a great username. Lizzie P12345, brand new Prime Warden. 341 Cool. Thank you for those bits. You are awesome. I appreciate you. Fedora 2, 4 months in a row. Jesus Christ, 4 months in a row. Thank you, Jesus. Appreciate you. 24 months in a row. Excuse me, 24. Happy 2 years. Blaze 08 1988, 11 months in a row. Nice to catch a stream again. Thank you, Blaze. Nage Op Click 35 months in a row. Thank you, Nage. Zero Love 19 months. Rookie mistake confusing the A-wing to the X-wing like that. I'm sorry, Zero Love. Sorry. It's hard to tell the blue and the red. Love you, buddy. Fila Crux, thank you for those bits. Psst, Jack asked them about the built-in tracker for ride counts. Well, that's true. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, that's absolutely what those things will do. Kick Tripod for 2 months in a row. Yo, what's up, Kick Tripod? John, good seeing you, man. John helped me. He helped me make my voice sound good. A Gay Elephant, thank you for those bits. Day in the Park with Barney could be the next funnel cake. Jacob Full with that raid. Thank you very much, Jacob. If you came in here from Jacob's raid, thank you very much. I appreciate you guys, and Jacob's a good dude. Go follow him, Jacob Full, F-U-L, over here on Twitch. Age Michael's Dick, 52 months in a row. How long is 52 months? But what can I say? Sometimes there's nowhere else to be. Thank you very much, Age Michael's Dick. You're good people. Wee baby Seamus. Catching the end, but I've been fortunate to go to Disney many times in my life. This year, for obvious reasons, had to be missed. It is truly magical from being a child to nearly 28. I have learned to love and see the beauty in it, and I can't wait to get back. I totally understand. I'm 38, and I get those same exact feelings, man. So thank you, wee baby Seamus. The K Bussy, 14 months in a row, and Rival Helicopter with some bits. Thank you very much, everybody. All right. Well, that's going to do it for me tonight. Thank you very much, every single person that came in today. Hopefully you guys dug this. Hopefully you had fun. I did. I thought it was good times. It was pretty cool to get a walk around these guys. Like, they spent a lot of time working on this park, and getting a chance to actually check it out was pretty rad. And I hope that you enjoyed the experience. Does anyone know where screenshots go when you take them in Minecraft? Let me see. I think I know a trick way to do it. Here we go. Well, let's take a new screenshot, and then let's click the link. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you very much. I'm gonna try to start streaming a little bit more often now that it's September. Kind of took August, not off, but definitely streamed a little bit less in August. So I think September we're gonna kind of get back into it. Try to get a little bit more on top of things. And let's see here. Click this, and that should take me there. Oh no, that took me to see all photos. Oh God, this thing is garbage. Where did it go? Where's recents? Video select, cancel, all the things. I don't even know. I'll figure out where they go. They go in a folder in roaming. All right, we'll figure that out. So anyway, thank you very much, everyone. If you randomly did stumble in here today, I do appreciate it. Hopefully you'll give me a follow. Maybe if you came in with Jacob's raid, you'll give me a follow. If you are following, maybe somebody like you will become a warden, because the wardens are just the best people on the planet ever, and I love each and every one of them. Mad props to them. And yeah, and of course Christian Casavarans are my mods. They make my life so much easier, so mad props to them as well. All right, but if you're out there, please take care of yourself. Be very careful, be very safe. There's a lot of scary stuff going on out there. If you go outside, wear a mask, be smart about it. Don't be dumb. I love you very much. Take care of yourselves. We don't want to lose anybody else if we don't have to. And if you have the means to, take care of each other too. Donate to charity. Do whatever you can to just help your fellow person with in any possible form or way. Cooper's laying right here. Here's his tail. He's just laying on my desk. He's whipping his tail against my mice and just like whipping them. So there you go. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna get some rest. Tomorrow is back to work because apparently tomorrow is Sunday, and I don't even know how time works anymore. So I love you guys. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. And remember, as always, by the power of the beard, we are bonded. I'll see you next time, everyone. Bye.